Here we go. Well, Garrett, what's with your boy Kellen Winslow at the Jets? What's that all about?
You know, most people drive around with 2 bottles of Vaseline in the car. It's cold out there. I do.
Yeah, for those of you who don't live in the New York area, Kellen Winslow his dad was a famous tight end also, and he apparently was spotted by a woman in a shopping center with his pants down, masturbating.
He has nowhere else to go.
Isn't that odd?
He's a professional football player.
That's what I'm saying. The options are endless.
Oh my God!
And he also he's huge. It's like 6'5", 260. Oh yeah.
So that's a big piece of meat he's working with.
Yeah.
And he's got full sleeves, big muscles, the whole deal. And
so when he's wanking it, he's really wanking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was arrested in East Hanover for possession of synthetic.
Handover.
No, that was last year for synthetic marijuana. This year, he was in the parking lot of the Target.
Oh, maybe he got ripped off. Maybe, that whole thing with the Target and everybody stealing your credit.
If it was at the Walmart, nobody would have even questioned it.
Nobody would have
Woman parked her vehicle next to his black Escalade there at the Target at Route 10. A man sitting in the Escalade with an open window said the woman whose name has been redacted from the report I'm reading. The man would later be identified as Kellen Winslow Jr., 30 years old. She exited the vehicle. She commented to the male regarding how cold it was. As she stood near the open driver's side window of the Escalade, she observed the male's erect penis.
Oh, my God.
I got to tell you, if your penis can go up past the steering wheel and then be peeking out the window,
Oh, God.
It sure is cold out today, isn't it, young man?
That reminds me, years ago, the old comic Milton Berle was supposed to have had the biggest penis in all of Hollywood back, in the old days. And so there was a roast at the Friars Club of Milton Berle, and everybody made penis jokes all night long. Mm-hmm. Kevin, who is the great comic that he died on stage in the middle of his act, and he
Shecky
played...
Green.
No, the producer.
Wasn't it?
No. He played the lead in the producers, the Nazi.
Zero Moscow.
No. The guy that played.
It was Shecky Green.
Nazi. No, Shecky Green. No.
Yes, I think it was.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
He played the lead.
I know who you're talking about.
In the movie and in the play.
Right.
Oh God. And he was on stage. He had a crazy act. He fell down, and they started laughing, and he laid there, and of course he was dead.
Vic Morrow?
No, not Vic Morrow.
Vic Morrow. This is a comedian, not a headless character actor.
He was killed in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, he had his head chopped off. Vic Morrow. Okay, look. The movie The Producers, with Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, this guy played the German guy in No Time for Hitler, or Springtime for Hitler.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany. He played Hitler.
So everybody had come up, and they had done a penis... What's his name?
Dick Shawn?
Dick Shawn, that's right. Everybody had come up and done a penis joke.
Green, Dick Shawn,
and people were getting kind of sick of it, actually. And, it wasn't really funny anymore. And so he gets up there. He's the last guy before Milton Berle comes up. Mm-hmm. He says, I'll tell you how big Milton Berle's cock is. I was in the steam room with him yesterday, and I thought he was in there with his son. That's how big his cock was. So, apparently...
That's great. That's a great joke.
The woman provided a written statement regarding the account. She said she could easily see his erect penis through the window.
Yeah.
Now, the cops came, and he was slouched in his seat, but he was moving around. He sprang to an upright position when the officers arrived, And when the cops asked Winslow what he was doing, he said he was looking for Boston Market, but he was lost. You know, the food place?
Yeah.
That's a big thing in the gay scene, when you want to jerk off in public.
You say Boston Market?
I'm looking for Boston Market. Yeah.
The cops noticed Winslow was wearing dark-colored sweatpants and wrote that his genitals were not exposed. Mm-hmm. But they did see 2 open containers of Vaseline in the center console. And plastic bags marked Mr. Happy.
Oh, no, this isn't true.
It is.
This is
and
true.
empty plastic containers of Funky Monkey scattered throughout the vehicle.
Monkey?
What is
weed.
Funky Monkey?
Mm-hmm. Synthetic
He's
weed.
been...
It's fake weed you could buy at gas stations.
Oh, and
and
it's
stuff.
good. It's okay.
It's really harmful. People die from
Winslow.
it all the time.
It's harmful.
Yeah, it's worse, way worse than weed.
What
Winslow said that he smoked Mr. Happy and Funky Monkey, he told the cops this, at his home to relax because the NFL doesn't test for that drug.
They don't test for
that
Funky
he buys
Monkey?
the stuff on the internet and at gas stations. And then they searched his vehicle, and some other evidence was found. And he had this. Now, how could it be illegal if you sell it in a convenience store, synthetic marijuana?
That's what I don't get either.
Yeah, I don't get that. He got busted for that?
Yeah.
Maybe they thought it was real weed, and then he was cleared once they found it was synthetic. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent this year. Have they let him go, Garrett?
I don't think you could do anything till February 3rd, that day after the Super Bowl.
It's weird that they don't want gays in the NFL, but
He's not gay.
I know.
I
know. They don't want anybody gay in the NFL, but it's okay to be whacking off in a parking lot, killing a couple of guys, whatever, you're beating up your women.
Well, you know what? I'd rather be with a killer than a gay guy. I don't know about you people, but
yeah, well, kids, why don't you go out with a guy that's jacking off?
All right. You know what? Let me put it. Let me go around the horn, Garrett.
Okay.
It's just for you. It's just for you, Garrett.
Wow.
Around the horn. You ready? So, you, Garrett, are sentenced to 10 years in prison, and you're put in prison, and you go into the cell, and the guy announces, "Hey, man." This is a multiple choice. "Hey, man, welcome to the cell. I'm gay." Okay, that's choice number 1. The next guy, you go into it, he goes, "Hey, man, welcome to the cell. I'm a murderer." A is gay, B is a murderer. Who would you like to be in the cell with, A or B?
Gotta be another one.
How,
you need another
how long's
choice.
my sentence?
10 years.
Oh, the killer.
You're in there with the killer.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll take my chances.
I can't wait to get the email.
If he snaps and kills me, fine, I'm dead. If the gay guy snaps and
You're gonna learn
and
to
has
sit in your
sexual
butt.
sex with me, then I'm just changed for life.
Yeah.
God, you poor man, you. Oh, I feel so
And then
sorry
after
for you.
Garrett gets out of the, if he's in there with the gay guy, after he gets out of jail, he just lays by the refrigerator where the air comes out of the bottom. He just lays there.
Spooning it.
With kind of a stunned look on his face. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's the silliest thing.
Oh, I gotta go. I'm all hopped up on Funky Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you know, I absolutely cannot stand this Erin Andrews, this woman sports announcer. She is just a horrible person, a terrible announcer, and really thinks she's hot shit. She's this nasally, really, really stupid woman. And it's not that she's a woman, she's a bad announcer.
She didn't know what
And
to
there-
do when Sherman was...
That's exactly
Who's
right. Do
talking
we have...
on you?
she had no
Here's the
idea
fun-
what to do.
So here's her chance to leave the script instead of saying what we all know without even hearing her stupidity on the sideline, that somebody's got a concussion or their knee hurts or the coach said tackle better or whatever the hell stupidity they say. The defensive back comes, she says, what was it like at the end of the game and everything else? And now this gangsta just goes off on the wide receiver for the 49ers. Do we have that?
well, he's
Garrett?
not a gangster.
Oh, he is.
Down the field, and Aaron Andrews receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to set it for you real quick. LOB.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
All right, well, we saw what Richard Sherman did.
What chicken shits? What complete chicken shits, including Joe Buck up in the announcer booth. You finally have a guy saying something entirely different than anything anybody's ever said on a sideline after a game, that he finds one of the great receivers in this championship game to be mediocre at best. And they don't stay down there with him. It's unbelievable. So Joe Buck, I put you in the same, and the producers, what chicken shits. It's amazing to me. They just went through this bloody confrontation.
What does that mean? What did he say at the end? LOL?
LOB.
What does LOB mean?
The Legion of Boom, which is what they call their defense.
Okay, that's what they called, the Seattle calls their defense. Okay, LOB. Yeah, that was scary, though. You know, the thing was, I didn't know.
What was scary about it? What was scary?
It was hilarious.
I thought that there was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it was.
It
wasn't scary. It was like no sportsmanship. So he has so you have to agree on that.
Vicious.
He later said that he came that all was said from adrenaline or something. Like he was all hopped up because he just made the play and.
Of course, but wait a minute. Of course, here's the deal. He sent a text message to ESPN's Ed Werder.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, says Sherman, for attacking an individual and taking away from the fantastic game by my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
That was not my intention. I'd like you to play this guy talking again, and you guys tell me whether you think he sent that email, that text.
Joe, thank you so much. Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to set it for you real quick. LOB.
All right,
LOB.
And Joe, back over to you.
Does that
know
sound
that
like
he graduated with a 4.0 grade average?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. From Stanford University.
Did he really?
Yeah. And he graduated from one of the worst neighborhoods in California, in Compton.
Well, let me tell you something. I've said this before. They don't fool around at Stanford. They don't fool around at Duke.
No.
They don't fool around at Tulane. They don't fool around at a lot of
This guy is really, really smart.
Okay.
He knows what he's doing.
All right. Then I stand, then he went street because he used
Well, he
in
grew
his...
up on the street.
Yeah,
but he used...
But he's also
he
very
used
smart.
in his speech after the game the word mediocre. And I thought, well, that's an unusual word for a street thug. Boy, Kevin, you really have done some research here. I have to tell you, I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Very proud of you.
I like to surprise you sometimes.
No, you're great. This is fantastic. So it's good. Now, let me tell you another incredibly smart guy. Russell Wilson, who's the quarterback of the Seahawks, and I've said this before, these offenses are really difficult. His uncle, at least, is a Harvard graduated, attorney and everything else. Super smart, everybody. And that's what's starting to happen is these guys have to be really smart to figure all this crap out. And as much as I love football, I don't think I could figure these offenses out.
Okay,
they have to see all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Both teams, Washington and Denver, Colorado.
Seattle and Denver, yeah.
But Washington State,
yes,
and Colorado.
He's about to ruin it now.
Are both states that have marijuana laws. You can smoke marijuana.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Can we just ask this? Can we start the game Super Bowl at 4:20?
I like that. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah. Hello.
The commissioner of the NFL said they may stop doing extra points and do something else. It's too easy.
Yeah, I heard this today.
It means nothing. It's kind of interesting, right? Even if they move it back. It's amazing when you see these guys kick, isn't it? The goalposts look teeny tiny. In the Arena Football League, they're even smaller. I don't know why they just don't get all these arena guys,
Instead of moving it back, they should move it up to the 1 yard line. then more teams will want to go for 2.
Oh, I see. You just have a yard to get.
Yeah,
right?
instead of 2. I don't know.
If they made it a mandatory 2-point conversion after a touchdown, games
cool,
would change drastically.
Drastically.
There would be teams that get stopped 3 and 4 times.
Yeah.
You know? Pretty crazy. Garrett and Christina, I did send you a picture of Chris Pagano, the pervert, who drove through the streets of Northeast Philadelphia asking women to watch him rub a slice of Swiss cheese on his privates. Do you have the picture you can show, Kevin?
Yes. Oh, he seems like a nice fella.
This is what I love. Do you know who?
He's holding the cheese up.
Cheese stands alone.
Wait a minute. Do you know who the reporter is that covered this for the Philadelphia Inquirer? Alex Gross covered it for them.
It's like
he's holding up a big
stuff,
slice of Swiss cheese.
But
his pants are down.
There's no holes in that cheese, though.
Yes, there are.
I think
on
it's
the
just
right.
a bad quality.
It's a bad quality.
Yeah, it's
picture.
probably out of the
Thank you.
Ziploc bag or
Thank you, everybody.
He's the silliest criminal I've ever come across. I just can't stop. You know, I want to know what his family thinks. I want to know all about it. Marvell sent me a picture.
He always loved cheese. He always
from
loved
Twitter
cheese.
At JThomasShow@gmail also. Sarah Silverman bathes with her dog. Takes a bath with her dog. She thanks Whitney Cummings for opening my eyes to the joys of dog bathing. I think you and Whitney need a boyfriend, okay, or somebody.
Yeah.
Christina, do you bathe with your dog? Do you ever put your dog in the bathtub with you?
No, I've stood in the shower fully clothed, but with shorts on, and washed her because it's just an easier,
Yeah.
But I've never gotten into a tub with my dog naked and just sitting in our own filth. No, never done that.
What about with a horse? Have you ever done that with a horse?
I don't want to talk about it, Kevin.
It really is sad. It's like I thought she and Jimmy Kimmel had a great relationship and all that, but
She has
this,
a
Kevin.
boyfriend now.
Really? You know this, Kevin. The female comic it's a tough one for some reason. They're very
nervous.
nervous.
One is just as bad.
Probably. Now, Kevin, when you were straight, did you ever go out with a female comedian?
Oh yeah, I went out with a lot of female gals.
And nutty.
I was. This is weird because I was attracted to Ellen DeGeneres. Okay. I was also attracted to Rosie O'Donnell. Okay.
Wow.
Went out with Liz Winstead. Okay.
She's gay. I don't know.
No, she's not.
No.
She's not, but she's kind of like my wife. She could be, Or, she, like as Kate goes, Daddy, you're gay and Mommy's gay. I go, Mommy's not gay. Well, she acts gay. All right.
Now, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Could your wife be a closet lesbian?
Absolutely not.
Right. Your daughter is, let me tell you something, out of the mouths of babes, your daughter is very astute.
She is.
She's loud. She's very loud. When she said it to you, she'd go, Daddy, Mommy might be a gay too. Does she do it like that? Because that's how she talks. You know what? She needs 2 of those clock clear, those things you put in your ears, both of them.
She's very much like her father, where she's very loud.
Yeah. But, maybe your wife is jealous of the fact that you came out and she can't.
I don't, I really can't speak for her. I don't think she is. I would bet pretty much everything on it that she's not. And if she did come out, it would definitely be after both of her parents had died, because they'd never be able to handle it. They already have one gay daughter, and they're not happy about that, Or they.
But why would your daughter say something like that? That is odd for a 13-year-old kid to say something like that. She's 13.
I don't know how old she is.
No,
she's 14. She's 14, yes.
Because
14-year-old girls are
that.
very, very emotional. Everything is, like this morning I'm staying over there with her, because Marianne is away. And it's really wonderful to stay in a beautiful, luxurious apartment with 3 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. Opposed to
your wife has an apartment with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms?
Yes. Dining room, living room, kitchen, you know.
Did you help pay for that apartment?
No, she's very wealthy, my ex-wife.
What from her family or from work?
From work. She's a
What does
dynamo.
she do?
We have no idea what she does, but she's an executive. Kate, you could even ask Kate.
In what industry?
In the international television film.
Really?
business,
I did
yes.
not know that.
Yes.
I didn't know it. I mean,
but you could call
Could
Kate
she help
right
us
now.
get a deal? Could she help us get a deal?
She's always trying to help me, but you could call
Really?
Kate right now and say, Kate, what does your mother do for a living? And Kate would say, I have no idea. And she works in television, international television and film, but we have no idea what she does. She's a consultant.
She works
of some
for a
kind.
distribution company, probably.
No,
right?
she doesn't. No.
Really?
She used to be senior vice president, executive vice president of Fox International, where she.
Come on.
Oh, she did, yeah.
That's big.
I know it was big, but she ran all of Fox Television in South America. You know,
I can tell you something. If I had a wife that had that kind of job, I would have somehow just swallowed hard and continued to enjoy pussy.
I wish
if
I
were you.
could. I wish I could
know.
have, but I
Not
couldn't.
too bad.
And she's wonderful, but Marianne is wonderful, and she's,
Well, that's great.
you know,
That's
we
great.
get along great.
Garrett, I sent you something that Wax sent me. This comes out of Kenya. Did you get that, Garrett? The thing I sent you from, I believe it's out of Kenya. It's a new singing sensation that
Broadway?
this person it could be a whole show. And I'm always looking for new talent. Did you see it, Garrett? It's the queen of.
No, I did not get that.
Does she want?
Oh, come on.
Is this the girl that wants to be Rihanna?
No. Oh, you didn't get it? I'll have to send it to you again. Okay. Well, anyway, I will, I'll send it to you in a couple of minutes. We'll have, this is an exciting talent. And I can't believe I've been sent something like this. I don't know what to do with it. You know, I can't really produce anybody or anything like that. Vistaprint.com is everything you need to get the word out about your products and your services. And for a limited time only, they're offering that 250 premium business cards for only $10, including shipping. And they have, of course, quantities up to 5,000. They have a low price guarantee for their premium business cards. And if you're not happy, guess what? They aren't happy. They will make it right. 250 premium business cards, $10, shipping included, Vistaprint.com. The promotional code is J Thomas. You put that in the cart. Vistaprint has a variety of quality paper stocks, and you can choose from matte, standard, you can upgrade to premium glossy or regular glossy or other mattes or recycled mattes. Personalize these cards till your heart's content. Move things around, change fonts, colors. You can even add a custom backside. Well, isn't that nice? Don't delay. Order your 250 high quality premium business cards, $10, and your shipping will be included. Vistaprint.com, promotional code J Thomas. It's in the cart. Okay, to get this offer.
Jay Thomas.
Yeah, little thing, medically they call pussyitis.
Jay Thomas. In Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Hot new talent out of Kenya. The Queen of Vagina. Hot new talent.
I am Queen of Vagina. Queen of Vagina. Penis. Promiscuous. I am Queen of Vagina. Queen of Vagina. Penis. Promiscuous. Come and have sex.
Could your wife help us get her a deal?
Come and have sex. Have sex with my vagina. My
Send it to her.
This is my favorite song.
Ready for your penis.
We'll send it to Kate. And
Wait,
Kate will
ready
send it
for
to
your
her.
penis. Wait a minute, we missed the line. Ready for your penis.
Juicy vagina. Oh, come and have sex. Have sex with my vagina. Oh, vagina. Oh, vagina. Yeah.
How many hits?
880,000.
Unfucking believable.
How do we make this my ringtone?
You know, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Almost a million hits.
She made it to the X Factor, so that might have helped.
Penis.
She was on the X Factor?
Yeah, there's a clip here. I don't know what it sounds like, but I can click it.
Well, she didn't sing.
Maybe she sang the penis song.
My vagina is ready.
Outrage on the streets this week as budget cutbacks take a drastic toll on the quality of teaching in British schools.
2 plus 2 is vagina, and vagina.
In reality, this woman isn't going to be teaching any classes soon, but she may instead end up on our TV screens. Marjolaine Diamond, or as her devoted fans know her, joined thousands of other hopefuls at the recent X Factor auditions in order to share her inimitable talent with the world at large.
I'm gonna show you my genitalia. I am queen of vagina, queen of vagina.
A committed musician her entire life, she dedicates her time to songs about the readiness of her vagina and what position she occupies in the vaginal monarchy.
My vagina is ready for your penis. I am queen of vagina.
Of course, a talent as original as Marjolaine Diamond's didn't just spring up out of nowhere. It was cultivated carefully over a number of years through high-end music videos and meticulously written lyrical content.
Finish, promiscuous. I am queen of vagina.
Now, after a long and distinguished career online, the queen of vagina is ready to take to the world stage. She's ready, her vagina is ready, but are the X Factor judges ready?
Wait and see. Don't hold your breath yet.
Wow. Christina, it's hard to get her. Try and get her. And Garrett, certainly we need to share that with our audience.
I don't know if we could get her. I don't know. She's too big.
Roger Ailes over at Fox, the kind of a liberal guy, has written a book saying he's a terrible person, all that. Of course, Fox makes over $1 billion a year and does all kind of great stuff. And so what's odd is all these guys who were bad guys or rough guys, they had these terrible childhoods. Like Bill Clinton, I saw him being interviewed on a Golf Channel, saying how his dad and then his stepdad were both drunks and they beat the mother and all this stuff. Roger Ailes is a hemophiliac, meaning he can't stop bleeding, which didn't stop his father from beating him with an electrical cord. That's what his dad used to do to him.
Well, he was a hemophiliac. He knew he was a hemophiliac, so he just be bleeding.
Yes,
couldn't stop bleeding.
His father would. After that, of course, you're not in a good mood.
No,
after that,
God.
No,
I can't stop bleeding.
After his father taught him a great lesson about trust. When he was just a little boy, his father would hold out his arms and told him to jump off the top bunk. Then he deliberately failed to catch him, saying, "Don't ever trust anybody."
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable. Makes you feel sorry for this guy.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It's just unbelievable. His mother in a divorce suit said that the husband had threatened to kill her. And then, what was his first job? The Mike Douglas Show. It was the Mike Douglas.
Oh, that was one of my favorite shows, Mike Douglas.
Well, he started as a gopher, and he went all the way up to executive producer.
He used to have this lady on the Mike Douglas Show, and she had no arms. And Mike was just fascinated by this woman. She had all these kids, and the kids would come home every day and for school, and she'd make them sandwiches with her feet. And she would have like the knife in her hand and one of her feet.
That's as bad as sleeping with your dog, I think.
And she'd be getting the peanut butter out, and she'd be spreading it on the bread, and then closing the sandwich up and cutting it with the knife and handing it to the kids. And Mike would always mixing salads on the Mike Douglas Show, mixing salads with her feet.
Mike Douglas would sing.
Oh, he was a good singer.
No, he wasn't.
No, he actually had a number of recording, records out, and they were on the Billboard, before he was.
But I mean, I was a kid when that show was on,
Yeah.
and I would watch that show, even as a kid, I would go, "Why does he think he can sing?" I mean, he really couldn't sing. So, but when I love reading these.
Remember when he had
books.
John and Oko on as co-hosts?
Yeah, he had all. I mean,
He was
all this
cool.
stuff. And then apparently Roger Ailes was just kind of interested in TV, and someone said, "Why don't you run a campaign for a Republican guy?" So he runs Jim Holzhauser Jr. For governor of North Carolina, and they were trying to get busing the kids and all. So he says, "Look, you have to do an anti-busing spot, or you're going to lose the election." And Holzhauser said, "Well, I don't even know how I feel about it." He said, "Well, you got to do an anti-busing spot, and then when you get in, you can do whatever you want to do." So he has the guy. This is very Machiavellian, tell him one thing and then do whatever you want to do once you get in. He has him do an anti-busing spot. He wins the election, and then they said to Roger Ailes, "Well, what did he do about busing?" Ailes says, "I haven't the faintest idea." I never even talked to the guy again. I mean, to me, that's what I say. I mean, I know they mean what they're saying and they're right wing and all of that, but there's so much money involved and it works. It's almost like being, Gallagher. He can't stop doing that act.
It's like a line in The Producers, the musical, and there's a line in one of the songs. He goes, "Everything is showbiz," and that's what it is. It's all showbiz. Nobody cares. There's really no passion anymore. It's just like, okay, let's get in, get it done.
Once when he was on the radio, he said of Mary Madeline, who is married to
Jim Carville,
James Carville, and Jane Wallace, who were the host at that time of a show called Equal Time. He said, these are the girls who, if you went into a bar around 7, you wouldn't pay any attention to them, but they get to be 10s about 2 in the morning.
Sure.
He would say stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Once he called David, reportedly called David Saslov, a CNBC associate, a fucking Jew prick. Wow. What a book. What a book. And of course he's all upset about the book and everything else.
Who wrote the book?
Oh,
some Democrat.
Yeah, some, left-wing guy wrote the book. I don't know.
How would he know about, his childhood and things like that?
He interviewed people, found out, looked up articles and stuff, The
where did he get that story from? That's awesome. But
Kitty Kelly.
I think he must have told that story. He must have told it on TV.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
By the way, Ira, the weatherman, said that he stood in line for 3 or 4 hours to get inside of Gracie Mansion. Mm-hmm. And I read an article that, and what's his name, de Blasio, the new mayor?
Yep. Right.
He stood in there for 6, 7 hours, shaking people's hands. And when people were doing all kind of weird things to him. One woman handed him her card where she thought that the Gracie Mansion in New York should be decorated in an African-inspired interior, and her company's called We Bring Africa Home. And she handed him her card and a brochure about making the inside of Gracie Mansion more
he has
African.
a black wife, interracial marriage.
Yeah. Some people brought their kids. Mm-hmm. 15, 16-year-old kids, they stood in line 3 and 4 hours. When you tell them at this age, one guy says, that they're going to be able to tell their children this story one day, they have trouble thinking that far ahead. Christina, do you think you would have thought it was cool if your parents made you stand in line at 16 for 4 hours to go into Gracie Mansion now in your 30s? Do you think you would have looked back? No.
You wouldn't still be telling that story today? Especially if you had kids?
If I had kids, yeah, because then I'd need to balance something, need an excuse for why I would terrorize them.
Like my ex-wife's parents, they brought her to Bobby Kennedy's funeral and said, "You're going to remember this for the rest of your life when you go by this casket." What the
Abraham Berkowitz, a Shabbat rabbi from Crown Heights, stood with his daughter, Mousy Moussie, Moussie. I don't know what person that is.
Mouse.
They waited. He said, this is an open-air class in civics for her. What, to walk through the Gracie? I tell you what, why don't you wait like a month and you'll be able to go in there and no one will be in line. No one will give a shit.
Did they have tours of Gracie Mansion during the
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. I took one years ago when I first moved to New York. I saw all the sites. I did everything. Gracie Mansion was one of them. Kelly King at Arts from East Village was holding a diorama that she'd made out of cardboard, gave it to the mayor. What's a diorama?
A diorama is kind of like a 3D
like in a shoebox or something where kids project.
Mm-hmm.
It represented a newsstand on Astor Place that recently had lost its license because of a bureaucratic snag.
No.
Yeah. So she handed him the diorama and said, I need my license.
I need some help.
Yeah, that was it. Unbelievable. He just stood there. Welcome to the people's house. This is your house.
Mm-hmm.
One man, Zach Aronson, a plump young man who works in theater, said to the mayor, you must feel like a mall Santa. He said to him.
And what did de Blasio say?
Didn't like it. No, didn't like it. Didn't really, the mayor greeted at around 6 p.m. He'd been there for 6 hours. Nadine Lubka, a teacher at a public school, she was the last visitor. He put his arm around her and said, I am so happy to see you. And Ira was in that crowd.
Yeah.
Were they serving chicken?
Did he shake it?
He shook his hand and talked to him.
And I think he had his picture taken, but they're going to send him the picture. Right?
To where?
I think he gave them his
how did Ira feel about de Blasio before the whole election? Wasn't he not in
wishy-washy, yeah.
Yeah, but then as soon as he meets them,
he likes Rodney Lee Conover. He's
in love with Charlie Rangel. In love.
Okay.
Now, Rodney and I have been friends forever, and since he started this campaign, he's never spoken to me.
How's this campaign going?
I think he's going to win.
I reached out to him, and he said that he would consider coming on within the new year. So hopefully we'll have him come on sometime in 2014.
Really odd. I think he thinks that he is so far away from me politically, and I also think deep down inside he's
afraid,
bullshitting a bit, like I talked about Roger Ailes too.
Oh, sure.
But we've been friends forever, and I just don't feel as though we're friends anymore. And he used to be pro-choice. He's saying on this website he's no longer pro-choice. Mm-hmm. And he has a date. He said, well, I'm, as of, September 26th, no longer pro-choice. And I'm thinking, was that the day you decided to run for Congress?
We have to find out how his campaign's doing. How's he doing in the polls?
I don't know. They wouldn't let him debate the other people.
Oh, they wouldn't?
No.
Oh,
but he said the debate doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
This comes from Larez, Jay Thomas Show at Gmail. Jay, a friend of mine made a bet with me that one of your sons was on the 1980 sitcom Small Wonder. I'm hoping he was mistaken. I have a $20 bet with the guy. The kid played Reggie, and he kind of looks like you, but you never mentioned you had a child of mixed ethnicity.
Well, maybe you do have another son, Jay.
I sent you the pictures, Garrett.
Yeah, I know Reggie from watching being a big fan of the show. And I mean,
he's not that mixed.
He's pretty dark.
He's pretty dark.
Does he have an afro?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He looks just like me. That was my son. Mm-hmm.
That's definitely your son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's definitely your son. Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's little Jay Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
That's Reggie Thomas.
And the mother was, yeah.
Rodney has a campaign asking for funds, and his goal is $2,000, and $5 has been pledged so far.
I wonder if that's Ira.
Maybe I don't know if he can get on the internet.
That's pretty embarrassing, isn't it?
No.
That's because he hasn't come onto the Jay Thomas Show to promote.
Wait a minute. You're looking for $2,000, you got $5?
You have to start somewhere.
I think it's embarrassing to only look for $2,000.
It only started January 15th, so it's only been 6 days.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been under $1 a day.
Yeah, $1.
Why is he only looking for $2,000?
Maybe that's all he needs.
I don't know. It's a small.
And I feel like that's like
area.
one commercial.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know. He
sign
does
that
have
goes out in
delusions
your
of
front
grandeur.
porch.
He does. He told me that it's a foregone conclusion. He's a victor. He's the winner.
This is because he's tired of Washington's pay-to-play tax code.
Mm-hmm.
So this is his big thing, a fair tax.
Mm-hmm.
Flat tax.
He's calling it a fair tax.
Yeah, it's a flat tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was for the flat tax? Wasn't that Jerry Brown?
Here's the problem.
I think so.
It's almost like your budget. Like all of us have a budget of things we can spend or whatever. If we could live within our budget, that would be great, but most of us can't. And so I've always said that a government is more like a family or personal finances. And there are too many people that make government like a business, which it's not. Like here at Sirius XM, they can fire you. They can cut your salary. They can raise your salary. They can do whatever they want to do. It's a business, right? Mm-hmm. If they don't like your attitude or they don't think you're holding up your end of the bargain or whatever,
curtains.
They get rid of you, right? Now they give you severance or whatever. In government, you can't get rid of slackers. You can't get rid of people that just can't make it. You can't fire, people that will always be on the dole.
I mean, a government job.
No, but you can't. No, what I mean is in the population, not civil servants. I mean in the population. You cannot, and I've said this before, we all have this uncle or cousin or brother or sister or whatever that's just a loser. Mm-hmm. They try their best, but they just can't make it happen. That's what a government is. It's a family. It's not a business. And so when you're trying to run it and a lot of businessmen, Bloomberg had trouble with this. When he was running New York, it would exasperate him that he couldn't run it like he runs, his, multi-billion-dollar, news channel and all that stuff.
Well, he sees things black and white, that's.
Yeah.
And he's right on a lot of the issues. I mean, you shouldn't be going out buying a 30-ounce soda. No, make it against the law. I totally agree with him on that, And
but if he owned a business and he said, I don't want to see any more 30-ounce sodas on your desks. You're all overweight.
Right.
It's costing me millions of extra dollars in your health coverage. And he can put that edict out there, and they can sue him if they want to or whatever, but most people would stop having a 30-ouncer on the desk. You can't do that in the public sector. It's just you can't do it. They'll sue you. They have all these rules. If they could get rid of all the welfare mothers, if they could get rid of, giving out cell phones or whatever it is, yeah, they would probably save in the hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions. I don't believe they would save in the billions, but hundreds of millions.
Do they really give
out
cell phones?
Yeah.
Why do people need cell phones?
They call them Obama phones. It's to contact people.
I actually saw somebody on a payphone the other day.
Ew,
it was like the
gross.
first time I had seen that in
I love a payphone.
long time.
Ugh, not around here.
I was looking through
awful.
payphones recently, and I kept putting my finger in there, and I got 4 Bitcoins, Gary.
Nice. The payphone outside my apartment has free Wi-Fi, so people huddle around it.
What?
Wait, how is that? Is it a new payphone?
It just has a little beacon on top that gives out Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so maybe you can Skype from there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jesse, who is in New York. Yes, Jesse, go ahead. It's Jay Thomas. Kevin Meaney is back in New York. I'm in gloomy, cloudy, 50-degree California.
We're in a blizzard here. It's we're really exciting.
Yeah, I heard that. Hey, great. Jesse, go ahead. Go ahead, Jesse.
So, Jay, do you want this for February 2nd, what we're having right now in New York?
Yes.
Blizzard.
Oh, yes, I want this. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Garrett loves it. They had that hockey game at Michigan Stadium, but hockey is a cold weather game, and they're skating around on ice anyway. They might as well be out.
Cold weather game also.
Not really. You want to have prime conditions. Look, both teams played in pretty prime conditions over the weekend.
Well, I think Denver is an outdoor stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, but we saw the best.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. You want to have the final game of the season. You want to have the bowl games between teams that are evenly matched on a level playing field without a bunch of nonsense that's going to cause a fumble or the ice or the snow or whatever. They've played in all of that to get to where they are.
That's
the
true.
Super Bowl is supposed to be a vacation, a championship, but a vacation.
I think it should always be played in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I do. They have the best Super Bowls, and it's the greatest city to have a Super Bowl.
And you know what? It doesn't affect.
And you're the host of the show,
weather.
And
yeah,
we love
the
you very
weather
much.
doesn't affect them. But I love Super Bowls in Miami. I loved it. Now it's rained there a few times, but it was always fun to go to Miami. The crowd is going to be miserable, freezing and miserable.
All the
but
corporate
you say,
people that got free tickets that weren't fans of either team. Who cares about the crowd? The crowd sucks.
Who got free tickets? Who gets free tickets?
90% of the stadium is corporate deals. Only like 10% of season ticket holders from each team get a chance to buy a ticket to go to the Super Bowl. It's all like cronies and, friends of the NFL. Who cares?
I don't think that's true.
One of these days, I'm going to go to the Super Bowl.
I don't think it's 10. I don't think it's 90%. I think it's maybe a lot, but it's not 90%. So,
the crowds never go crazy at a Super Bowl.
Unless my wife or one of my kids or a friend of mine said they wanted to go, I would not go to this Super Bowl. I don't find it interesting to be cold. Mm-mm.
A lot of pot smoking being done at this year's Super Bowl. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and also it's a pain in the ass to get out
yeah.
from Jersey and all that.
It's going to be stinky in New York City.
Yeah. By the way, do they have the NFL experience on Fifth Avenue or something? Don't they have, does it feel like, is there like that Super Bowl feeling in New York?
They're building stuff right now in Times Square. Everything's like in construction for whatever they're going to do.
So
yeah.
Next week, maybe.
Well, they knew it was coming, So
yeah, but there's so many things happening in New York. Like I'm doing a show tonight at the Village Underground. That's what people are getting prepared
Who cares
for that
about the
tonight,
Super Bowl?
Yeah. Do you tell jokes about the Super Bowl, Kevin?
Tonight is kind of my friend Jay Okerson, and it's kind of a fun show. We're just it's like more of an improv show where you don't do your act and you just kind of do crowd work and whatever comes to your mind. You do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a...
You should ask the question about the Super Bowl tonight.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just do Super Bowl stuff.
Do you think it's interesting that they have in the freezing friggin' cold?
You would be great on this show. This would be a great show for you to do.
I love doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's much easier for me.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've written two little short stories, or whatever they are. I wrote those and read one to my son. And so I've started whatever but I'm not going to know what to do with it once I get a few.
You should post it online.
No.
No.
Online shit for free makes me want to puke. Okay? I have never done anything for free, and I will never do it now.
You could put it in your blog, and that blog could become a book. No. So, you could take your blog and then turn that into a book.
Look, when you give your sex away, you're considered a slut.
That's right.
When people pay for it, you're considered a whore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a whore. I find whores to be business people. I think this giving shit away and every now and again we do read about somebody that, like, we had a guy on. Was it on Friday? The guy started on the internet, had some show on the internet, and but it's like 0.5 of 1% of the zeros on the internet, get something that happens for them, I read all kind of crap on the internet. It bores the shit out of me, and it's free. Anything where you can press the button delete, I don't want to be a part of.
Some of these articles on Huffington Post are written, and the people that are writing them don't get compensated.
They screw them. They get mad at those.
You get money per click.
Not everybody.
Oh, that's how a lot of those sites work.
Yeah.
I have never found Arianna Huffington anything but an opportunist, and I've known her forever and ever. And she lived with a gay guy and had 2 kids with him who was very wealthy. He ran for the Senate here in Santa Barbara.
Was he definitely gay?
Oh, yeah, the whole time. He comes out of the closet.
Michael Huffington?
Yeah, he comes out of the closet.
He did come out of the closet?
Yeah, after he lost the election, moves in with a guy. She takes the 2 kids, and, who knows? She had no interest. She could care less. Of course there was never anybody that didn't think he wasn't gay, ever. 2 kids with him. She is such an opportunist and just, she's a whore. She's fabulous. She does it all for money. She's a whore. She's fabulous on some level. And she fucks people over there at Huffington out of money. They're complaining all the time. In my humble estimation, she doesn't pay them anywhere near what the material is worth. And she makes millions of dollars from that thing. Let's go to Wes of Florida. Yes, Wes, go ahead. Jay Thomas here. Yeah.
Man, Jay, you're sounding like these fucking idiot rednecks I got around me. We're talking about these Obama phones, man.
Yeah.
Where can I get an Obama phone? I think it's total bullshit and racism and derogatory, but...
I don't know. You know what? We hear about them all... Wait a minute. We hear about them all the time, and here in Santa Barbara, we have 2 black people in Santa Barbara, okay? So the homeless here are not black people, and they have cell phones, and when you ask them where they got them, they say these are Obama phones. That's where I learned that.
It says
so I don't know what it is.
The government funds low-end cell phone plans and offsets some of the costs of landline phones.
There you go.
Some sort of program, yeah.
So they can call for help or something, or call the hospital or whatever. Sure, no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So they pay like $10 a month or something. Yeah.
You think the NSA is tapping these bums with cell phones?
Oh, sure.
I have a story that will make you glad you have the NSA, and a guy gets a letter, and you won't believe what Staples knows about the guy's life when we come back. Thank you, Wes. We're so lonely and bored here.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay.
Afternoons.
On Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, our guest will be a guy named Jesse Bering, author of the book Perv, The Sexual Deviant in All of Us. This made Garrett's ears perk up like a beagle.
Garrett Andrich written all over it.
His other book is Why is the Penis Shaped Like That?
Like I said,
that.
this has Garrett Andrich written all over it.
He talks about zoophilia, and he also makes a comment about pedophilia that is very, very controversial, almost saying that it's okay as long as you don't partake. It's
Garrett,
really
you
kind of
had
weird.
a roommate that was a pedophile.
Yes.
How do you think? I mean, he was an older man, though, right?
Yeah, but he had a young boy come over, but definitely of legal age.
Oh.
But,
so we're still not clear if he was a pedophile or not?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, then never mind.
Did the young boy come over of his own free will and want to be pedophiled on?
I know he was dragged in.
Did he call him daddy?
He seemed like, a poor kid that needed a place to stay in New York, and this
Needed
guy
a
was
bath.
very friendly.
Why don't you come over
And you did
take a
you
bath?
just stay in your room huddled in a ball? I mean, how did you react to all this?
Oh, I didn't have a room. I just had a loft.
It gets better every time he tells
Which
it.
was like 10 feet away from the bed, he was lofted in.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was
horrible.
There was a living room.
Could you hear noises, sexual noises?
The boy slept in the living room, which was 2 rooms away from our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You slept in the room with him?
Yeah, same room, but
Different
both
lofts.
beds, different lofts, yes, and separated by curtains.
Oh.
Wow.
And he was an older man, but he loved you, didn't he?
I guess so.
Did he just
fresh
want
out
the
of
boy to walk around after a shower or something? He just wanted to put him in the jack bag or in the
It didn't
flip
seem like
cards or
they
something?
were, getting sexually intimate. It just seemed like he was, he liked having a younger boy around.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Garrett just wasn't cutting it anymore.
How much younger was he than you? The young boy.
Oh, the young boy. He was probably about my age because it was right out of college. I was like 20.
But he had a baby face.
You know what's weird? Garrett, that's why you were there.
That's why I left.
No, originally
really?
it was why you were there.
Yeah.
It's probably why
that's
he accepted me, but then he realized
Yes.
that I just sat in my bed and kept my headphones on and didn't talk to him. Like, he thought we were going to, like, hang out and be roommates.
No.
But we weren't at all.
And how old was this guy?
Had to be mid-60s, maybe 70s.
Oh, okay.
And you were 18 or 19?
No, I was like 22, 23.
And he wanted to hang out with you.
Sure.
He thought we were going to
I have kids that age, and they can't stand to be with me more than about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sit around in your
I'm
underpants.
buying something.
He thought he was the cool guy, that had a cool place in the West
Why don't you
Village.
take off your pants? It's a little more,
Let's go to Rick,
comfortable.
who is in Kansas. Yes, Rick, go ahead. Kansas.
How you doing,
Rick.
Jay?
Good.
Hey, I wanted to compliment you, and this is I've never actually thought that you ever got your due in the entertainment field. I've always thought that you were one of the funniest guys around, and I just never really thought that you got the due that you deserved, because you always worked well with people, and going back to the Gina Heck days and working with Kevin Meaney and everything, you boys.
All right, with Mork and Mindy, yeah. Well, look, it happened to a lot of us. There are a lot of us that are really good. I've just looked at 30 years of all my, I have it up online on YouTube, and we're rebuilding my little website and all that stuff. And I thought the same thing, but it isn't from lack of chances. It's just nobody, I mean, this is and Kevin, I've said this, I've been on the David Letterman show before he was on CBS, so I've been on there for 20 years. Not just throwing the football and telling the story, but I did remarkable stories and bits with him and put him down, and he would keep me on there longer than anybody else and have me sit there with guests and stuff. I never got one phone call from anyone. I never got a job, a job offer. Absolutely.
Maybe you should have thrown the football left-handed at the pizza. Maybe,
I have no idea. My agent used to say to me, well, it's because everybody thinks you're working.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
What?
It's really weird that, you get all this, you do television shows, radio, and you never get email or anything. And the same thing with me. I have to be honest with you, television show, the phone never rings. I did 2 podcasts, around the holidays, right? I have never in my life gotten so many accolades and people writing to me because
I'm talking about business people.
Well, business people also. Yeah. I mean, it's like, what is going on here with these
Whose podcast?
I did Greg Fitzsimmons' podcast and Ari Shafir?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Ari Shafir. It was incredible, Jay.
Jay, I've also decided that.
You know what? We put up satellites, Garrett. We're spending billions of dollars.
Right,
Get the satellites going all over. We ought to just take them down and go serious podcast. Just go podcasting,
It's amazing.
Jay,
take the satellites down.
Super Bowl. I don't think I would go to the Super Bowl either. I actually measured it. It's 15 steps to my bathroom and 12 steps to my refrigerator. Why would I pay all that money to see a game that's got right in front of me?
And by the way, the last time I went was in Dallas, and Jerry Jones has ruined the experience because
you were there last year, weren't you?
3 years ago.
Oh.
He paid $500 million for this giant television screen, and he puts it down so low you can't see the field. And we had 50-yard line seats in the middle. You can't see the field. And people put hats on, they put their hands over their eyes, everything they can do to look down at the field. And he won't raise it up. So, if he raises it up, you would look at it, to see a replay or something. But you'd watch the game live down below. He won't do that. He won't do it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jay, who's in West Virginia. Yes, Jay, go ahead. Jay, West Virginia.
Hey, Jay, great show. You guys sound good. I just heard the news. Doritos has asked to double their commercials during Super Bowl this year. And the other ones that are dropping out because of being Colorado and Washington State, Zigzag has stepped up to the plate and is booking themselves into some commercial time.
No. Wow.
Damn boys and meatballs. I'm out.
Meatball.
Let's go to Long Island Lou. Hello, Long Island Lou. Well, he tried.
Those aren't booze. Those are Lou's.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Yes, go ahead, Lou.
Hey, I don't know if you remember last week I called and I told you that I had a raccoon in my backyard, and I think it was Kevin that was saying that I should have took a taser to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that little fucker came back today and didn't know what to do. You know, the dog was out again, and I was freaking out. I wound up calling the cops. The cops came and put a 22 to its head.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
And I just said I'd follow up because I know that...
So you're the guy that said that if a raccoon is out during the day, it's rabid.
Yeah, sure.
I did get a bunch of messages saying that's not true.
No,
that's not true.
It's true. And the cops came today, and the raccoon was out during the day, and they said the same thing to me, and they put a 22 to its head.
Yeah.
Where in Long Island do you live where they can just shoot a gun at a wild animal?
I'm in Northport.
Oh. It's pretty...
Suffolk County.
It's not that sparse there.
Yeah, but that's an easy shot with a 22. Come on.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, well, it was point blank. It was right to the head.
Yeah.
How'd they get
Oh,
so
they got
close?
up that... How did they get up that close to it?
No, the thing, I mean, it was on its last limb last week, so, I mean, today it was like, it looked like it was out drunk all night. I mean, the thing was just rolling around.
Was it foaming at the mouth?
I didn't get that close.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Rocky.
God rest
Raccoon.
God rest Rocky's soul. All right. Thank you. So Office Max, not Staples, sends a mailer, like millions of mailers out. And I believe Garrett's girlfriend does this for a living. They collect all sorts of info, like Christina, if you go to the drugstore and you buy these feminine, products.
Tampons. You can just say tampons.
Whatever they are. I don't know.
Don't talk about them.
All sorts of sprays and gels that you shove inside of yourselves. And when that goes into the credit card company, they see what you buy. They send information, and that's why you will specifically get
coupon.
Yeah, they'll send you a little coupon to get a free.
That's right. You'll get the coupons.
Yeah, I don't mind this.
You know what I get
like
coupons
$3
for
off my tampons.
all the time, Kevin?
Sure.
Just for men hair coloring. I get that. That's what I get. So this is a sad story. Office Max sends a flyer-looking thing about their specials to Mike C.A., S-E-A-Y, daughter killed in car crash or current occupant. And his daughter had been killed a year ago in a car crash with her boyfriend.
What do you mean it says daughter killed in car?
If you go online, you'll see it.
It says...
Go to Mike and then S-E-A-Y of Illinois.
Yeah.
Christina, you can try and get him on. It's a pretty big story in
How
LA.
sad is that?
LA Times. And he calls up the Office Max and he says, listen, I got this flyer. And it says...
Right on the envelope.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like when
in
they...
the address label.
Yeah, if they say,
Oh, my
just
God.
current resident or just some name or current resident, that's the name.
How is that possible that would happen?
God.
2 people at Office Max said they didn't believe him. So he goes to the television station in Chicago.
Good.
And they take a picture of it. And then a spokesman was more... conciliatory, I can tell you that. And, an Office Max executive apologized to him. And, now he says, look, I'm not going to...
printer tape and...
I'm not going to sue you, but I want to know what's the deal? Why would you, why would you have put daughter killed?
It's just a note inside of the listing for some reason, and then when it automatically makes the address
Who types
the label.
that?
So somebody put a note in...
No one. It's just all computers.
Yeah.
And then some field got mislabeled by the computer, and they put daughter died instead of in personal information and put it in the address or something. That's what I'm guessing.
Companies will sell data on rape victims, seniors suffering
Daughter
from
raped
dementia.
in parking lots.
And people diagnosed with HIV and AIDS, they will sell this kind of stuff. It combines personal information available
the weeping legions.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, these lists are big money, and only a certain companies have the list, and they have ways of dividing them between what you're saying, so companies can focus.
You can walk into like a Bed Bath & Beyond, and your iPhone will be on, and all of a sudden a coupon will pop up on your phone saying that you'll just walk in and they'll go, we're selling something here for in Bed Bath & Beyond that you might be interested in. And they go, how did that happen? How did they know I was here? But that is happening today and all around the country.
The reason why I said Staples is I actually got a thing from them in the mail, and it said J. Thomas, whose career didn't go where it should have.
Oh, that's not nice.
Which was in the second line.
But the only difference is Jay will be suing them.
Now, Obamacare, they're really in trouble, and now people are trying to get out of it, and they can't. It's just as hard to get out of it. They're using scantily clad women, models, and they are handing out flyers, and over their breasts aren't exposed, but they're in bikini tops.
They're
without
healthy breasts, though, aren't they?
Without health, no, they're not. They're skinny girls, really skinny. Without health insurance, you're exposed. And so, of course, men are lining up, and they have women of all races and colors, and they have them all spread out all over the place.
Listen, you have to have health insurance. If you're an adult, you need health insurance. You have to go out and get it. That's just the way it is.
It's some sort of a mess. I don't,
And if you can't get it, go to the woods.
Some guy in Shreveport, which is in North Louisiana, which is where the Duck Dynasty people are. They're in Monroe, Louisiana, which is Baptist territory. I'm from more Catholic. Not that we're any better with racial relations down there, but it's a whole different, funkier kind of a thing. The Duck Dynasty people, and that group of individuals hates New Orleans, hates Southern Louisiana.
The debauchery of this.
They're more Arkansas, Mississippi.
Have you seen the pictures of the Duck Dynasty guys from 5-10 years ago?
Yes, they're nerds.
No. They're in their khaki golf shorts
with their families. They're all dressed the same in their picture.
They all have.
Do they have beards?
No, they look like white yuppies. They're all in. They have like the family picture where everyone's in the white shirts and
on the dune at a beach.
Yep. Laying down. They were just.
Yeah, they're down in Destin. I know where they are. And now for the television show,
characters for the television show.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. They're always in their camo gear and all that shit. Yeah, it's all incredible. And I know guys that watch it.
It's showbiz. That's the way it is.
Yes.
Sorry. I got a little gay there. Everything is showbiz.
So some guy in Shreveport says, I don't know when he said it or whatever, but in the Bible they stoned homosexuals or whatever. So this transgendered woman brings a big rock to a council meeting. Do we have her, Garrett, from Shreveport, Louisiana?
Let's move on to Shreveport, Louisiana, where a city council meeting got pretty heated, and for good reason. Pamela Raintree, who's transgender, offered a Bible-quoting city councilman the first stone to stone her to death. And so she's now being celebrated by the LGBTQ community for her vocal efforts in keeping the city's non-discrimination ordinance intact. In December, the city council voted to outlaw discrimination based on gender identity or sexual preference. And 10 days later, city councilman Ron Webb introduced an ordinance to get rid of that law. So the council was set to re-vote to repeal the ordinance, but they never got the chance. Here's what Pamela said that made him change his mind.
Leviticus 20:13 states, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, they shall surely put him to death.
Yeah.
I brought the first stone, Mr. Webb, in case that your Bible talk isn't just a smokescreen for personal prejudices.
Yeah, KMSSTV.com reports that after Raintree gave her moving speech, Webb, quote, moved to withdraw his proposal to repeal the fairness ordinance, and his withdrawal motion received support and was unanimously supported. It's quite an act and quite a spectacle, but it worked.
That's what I like about your show, Jay. You bring some of the good stories. That's
I'm also going to add, I find transgendered people totally creepy.
And, way to ruin it.
No, I mean, they're just, I feel sorry for them, and I do not think they should be called he or she. I think they should be called it.
No.
And I'll go to my grave saying that. Not they shouldn't be discriminated against, but they're not a he or a she. They're in the middle somewhere. They're it's. They're it's.
What about if you're one of your sons, you knew that he was a woman his whole life. You just knew it. There's kids out there that are, there's a kid that goes to Kate's camp and he's transgendered and Kate calls him a girl. She goes, he does all my makeup. She's wonderful,
There are some kids that are more feminine or girls that are more masculine and they have
But they identify as a girl or they identify as a boy.
But the guy we had on that dresses as a woman, the sissy cowboy.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
He's a regular guy, and he doesn't act like a sissy and doesn't do any of that stuff. And it's like the fact that he has to wear pink dresses out in public, to me, is just showing off and just causing trouble. He doesn't need to do that. He can do it in the privacy of his own room, and if his wife thinks it's okay and his kids, okay, that's fine.
But why should it cause trouble? Why should that bother somebody? And I understand where you're coming from.
It just does.
I can say, okay,
it just does.
There's that guy over there, and he's got a dress on, and that pisses me off, and I'm going to go over there and beat him up. No,
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't say that, but other people do. Other guys do that. They go, let's go kick the shit out of that guy because he's got a dress on. Why do they have to do that? I don't understand. The guy has a dress on, so what? Can't we just
I've seen guys that are men and they're dressed as women and they're going to work and everything else, and it's like they have a guy's voice and they've taken the shots and everything else. And it's like, this is unnecessary. And it doesn't advance you as a human being at all.
But why should it bother you? Why should it bother you or some other guy?
It bothers me in this way. You're a big fucking show off. You're showing off your transgender shit.
You don't think they're doing it because that makes them feel the most comfortable?
No.
They're more comfortable in the guy's outfit. They just wear the dress to show off.
Well, nature chose them to be male, unless they are truly girls, or they're truly men. I mean, women, transgendered women,
people
I
get
think,
so
look
upset
better
about
as men.
It's the anger that they have against somebody that's transgender or somebody that's gay or somebody that's different than them, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to, lash out at this particular person because they're not like me. And that's what I don't understand, where this anger comes from.
Well, I think we run a promo here. I think Christina asked me a question about why I make fun of something, and I go, because it's fun. I like it. It's fun to make fun of others. It's fun.
It is. I agree with you.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. Like, look at that thing over there. What the fuck is that all about? It's silly. It's fun. I don't know. Look, years ago when white people would go to Japan, they would be surrounded in the streets. I mean, after World War II, they were like made fun of. They're one of the most, non-accepting groups of individuals in the world. And, China may be the same way. There are plenty of, and they never talk about all this stuff, And yet if we say the word, if you say the word Jap, you've insulted a Japanese person. Why is that? I've never understood.
Or a Jewish girl.
Well, but that's different. That means something else. But the Japs attacked us in World War II. Do they're editing out the word Jap in all these old movies that are being shown on Turner Classic Movies and all that? They edited all that stuff out. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like a.
Well, didn't we have the people on from Amos and Andy that they were running Amos and Andy down in
the black women in Houston.
In Houston,
yeah. Because they said,
I don't think they should edit that out. I think that's part of our history. I think we should know all about that. That's the way things were done back then, and we can learn from that.
But I don't think Jap is an insult. But
I don't either. I don't think at the time we looked at it as an insult.
Towel head is an insult, okay? Sand jockey or whatever. Those slant eye, slope head. Those are insults. But how about
slope head?
How about when you call a German person a kraut? A kraut. That's a huge insult.
I know, and where did sauerkraut come from?
That's exactly right.
Exactly. It comes from cabbage.
The warnings have gone out. There's even a few United States representatives that say they would not attend in Sochi, whatever it is, Sochi, Russia.
Okay.
There is a white widow.
No, the Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Now, Jay,
read about they're calling her the White Widow.
No, there's the Black Widow.
Yeah.
No. She's the wife of a dead terrorist.
Yes, that's the
her
Black
name
Widow.
It's White Widow, guys.
Black Widow, and she's got a limp. And
Garrett.
she's got a scar in her left cheek, and she's got a limp. So if you see her, let people know who she is, okay? Because she's out there.
Her name is Rosanna Ibragimova. She is already in Sochi.
Yes.
She is hiding. Mm-hmm. And her husband was killed. She's 22 years old. Mm-hmm. And he was killed by Russian security forces. She has traveled from,
Chechnya.
Laptopistan or wherever the hell they are.
The Underground Railroad.
She is in there ready to blow people up at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so like the LA Times and some other places are calling her the White Widow, and then everything else is calling her the Black Widow.
I heard of her as the Black
Widow.
You know why they're calling her the White? You know why they're calling her the White Widow?
Why?
White skin. Ooh. She doesn't look like she's not a Middle Eastern Muslim.
There she is right there, Black Widow. Just said Black Widow up on CNN.
Well, she's not the Black Widow. She's the White Widow.
But a Black Widow is someone that kills someone. A White Widow, I don't even know what a White Widow is.
Yeah.
It's not a spider.
Yeah. No, it's a white girl that's a widow. Mm-hmm. A Black Widow spider, after it mates with its male counterpart, it eats the male counterpart for the protein that it's going to bring the eggs.
Where do you get your protein?
Yeah. I ate my husband.
Let's
go to Matt of Cleveland. Yes, Matt, it's Jay Thomas. Matt, are you enjoying the show up to this point? Have we stimulated you intellectually?
Yeah, that was a great show, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, the reason I called was last Thursday or Friday I caught the repeat this weekend. You started to go into a story about the security guard, the real tough guy in the hallway, and you got talked over and never got to tell your story about your run-in with him.
What's that? Slick hair down guy?
Oh, the security guard.
I told the whole story about. Yeah. About what's his name, Garandolfo, Glenn, the guy that I wrestled.
No, the security guard. The security guard in the hallway. You had a run-in with him, and you never got to tell your story.
No, I think the security guard here.
Oh no, I never had a run-in with him.
He just reminded him.
Yeah, we have all been around this guy. Yeah. And when I'm in the coffee room with him, and I don't know the guy, but he just has a weird air about him. And I said he seems to be one of these guys that would like to be in the law enforcement business. And then there are these other folks that do this. Now, we don't know a thing about him, don't know his name, and he could be the most wonderful guy in the world, but he's a bit standoffish.
He's going to kill us.
And he really takes sitting at a desk and signing people in at a broadcast unit very seriously.
But even when you come into town, you always have problems.
If 99% of the people at Sirius XM were somehow, eliminated from the earth, it really wouldn't make much difference. Where there's nobody really worth keeping at this place. We're all pretty down on the totem pole. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So it's sad to say, but we're at the. Look around. Look at the lineup. Try and find somebody really gives a shit about it. It's difficult. Okay.
I'm in traffic.
I'm including myself. I would tell you right now, there's some announcers, Garrett, on the NFL and on the MLB, on the NASCAR channels that really, have achieved things in life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then, there's some people like that, soccer and all that stuff. But the rest of the gang, oh boy, it's a tough one. It's tough to care. Tough to care. Let's go to Bob of Nebraska. Have you seen that movie with Bruce Dern, Nebraska? Have you gone out of your way to see that? Is that a big film? And he's nominated for an Academy Award and all this stuff. Have you seen the film Nebraska?
I have not. No, I usually wait for it to hit Netflix myself. But
well, let me just give you the plot. Bruce Dern gets a flyer in the mail,
but he lives in Nebraska, right, Bruce?
And he thinks that it says he's won $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
His son knows that it's not a winner of $1 million, but the dad is kind of senile, and he decides to drive with his father to Clearinghouse headquarters or wherever in Omaha or whatever, and he does that, and of course he hasn't won $1 million. It used to be called Dumb Shit Out of Nebraska, but they took, the first couple of words off of there. It sounds like to me the stupidest premise for a film ever. Yes, Bob, go ahead.
Oh, I do like your movie references. I go by a lot of them, and they're all usually good. But I wanted to emphasis with Kevin on that point about why would somebody go out and pound on a transgender. I mean, you don't. It doesn't even have to be that bad. You go into redneck country, and if you're different, you don't even live there.
Yeah,
I've been chased down. They want to drive you in the ground like a T-post.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just the society that we live in today that. And that we have lived in for years, that if you're different from your neighbor, they're going to fuck you up,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what? I remember driving, I had really long hair, and I would drive, I had friends in Jacksonville, went to school down there and stuff, and I would, drive on the East Coast, come down, let's say, from New York or whatever. And man, if a cop stopped you and you got this long, I had a big old afro and they would pull us out, search us,
sure,
do everything. And then if they thought you were Jewish, and I've had cops pull me out and say, "Are you a Jew?" Like that. And it makes you want to say yes.
Right.
Years ago when the Iranian hostages were taken, I was working out at the YMCA in New Orleans. It was 1979. I'm, working out. And I had a Tulane University T-shirt on. And apparently some Iranians or something went to Tulane. I don't know. I'm a dark complexion guy. These three muscle guys come over to me and stand over me while I'm doing bench presses and go, "Hey, you an Iranian?" I went, "What?" They were going to beat me up or some shit,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is. It's it is weird. But then those guys brag about it, so they have a good time. There's some fun involved.
I live not that close, not that far from Wyoming, where they, this guy was openly gay. Remember, what was his name? Shepard, and they beat the shit out of him.
Oh, God, yeah, terrible. They dragged him, killed him. Listen, we had a kid called here from Oklahoma.
Alan Shepard.
And he had on his license plate, okay to be gay, and all this kind of stuff, and he was proclaiming it, and we told him to get the hell out of Oklahoma. We told him to be careful. He was killed within 2 weeks of the interview. That happened right here at Sirius XM. This guy was he murdered, Garrett, or it looked like an accident or something? Did we ever figure out how he died? Do you remember that guy?
No.
Were you not on the air with us? I think you were. He had okay to be gay in his license plate.
He was at a bar. He was at a bar, and some guys just saw his license plate and apparently chased him down and killed him. Yeah.
Hey, good show. Good job, Kevin.
All
We
right.
love you.
All right.
Oh, thank
you.
Do you remember?
By the way, what?
The Matthew Shepard, the guy.
Sure.
There's stories out now that it had nothing to do with him being gay. It was just like some drug deal gone.
It was some meth
gone
deal,
wrong,
I think,
and then the guys didn't want to admit there were any drugs involved.
And the guys that killed him were also gay.
Gay, yes.
Yeah, that's the story. That's
I don't know if it's true, but
who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be.
Did they catch his killers? Did they catch it?
Yeah.
Yes, and they're in jail.
Yeah, but some gay reporter did like 100 hours of interviews and blah blah, and he came to the conclusion that it had nothing to do with him being gay.
It was a bad drug deal.
Yeah.
Well, there's a play that was off Broadway and goes around the country about Matthew Shepard. They might have to do a rewrite.
Or
kind of ruins the whole.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Or a second act.
Yeah.
It's probably a one act. Let's do a two act.
It's
Make it a musical. And I mistakenly said Alan Shepard. It's not Alan Shepard. It was Matthew Shepard.
No, it isn't.
Alan Shepard,
Alan,
the first one in space. So I apologize to anybody listening.
The other thing was, and I never understood why they never did this. O.J. Simpson told one incredible story about what happened that night, and the jury believed him, okay? The police told another incredible story about what happened that night. That's your 2-hour movie. The first hour is what the police say. The second hour is what O.J. said. And nobody ever did that movie. It's always weird to me when you have these, obvious discrepancies in these big stories. They don't do it. They're just, if we wrote a letter to, I think Matthew Shepard's mom and everything goes out there and talks about him. And they make it out to be, redneck guys killing a gay kid.
Yeah. Well, they're going to continue that story because this is probably
hate crime,
money-making operation.
Oh, God, yeah, the foundations and.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That's what happens.
The biggest difference, Jay, in a fair tax is you keep 100% of your paycheck, and it's a tax on what you buy. What is that called?
Sales tax.
Sales tax. And everybody is taxed like 20%. So if you buy something for $1, it's $1.20.
But if you buy,
and that's what a fair.
You get to keep your money.
Well, but wait a minute. What they say that is, they say that is unfair to poor people who don't pay taxes. So you're already broke. You have no money, and you go to buy something.
You're not paying taxes anyway because you don't make enough.
It's $10, and you pay $12, right? And that's why it's called a fair tax. I think some countries, might even do that. But, so it's not fair and a flat tax would be that everybody is taxed 20%. Everybody across the board, 20%. Including corporations, which, by the way, pay very little taxes because of the write-offs and stuff, I'm about to sell my home in New Orleans. I'm going to put it up for sale. And I have depreciated losses on it, and I have some real losses on it. And even if I come close to making my money back, which I probably won't, my accountant sent me a note the other day and said, because of the losses you have, I won't pay income taxes for 2 years. Because what they do is they do that kind of stuff to stimulate business. Now that will make me maybe consider buying another home, another rental property, or I'm going to probably put it into my home, which I have a rental property where my 2 kids will never fucking leave, and I'd like to rent, that thing. So yeah, but there's all these loopholes, and the corporations don't want them. Can you imagine if Apple or General Motors or any of them had to pay off the top 20%? We would be okay tomorrow. We'd be fine tomorrow. Big corporations, will pay like 4 or 5% or less of the studios. They write everything off. They never show, Indiana Jones has never shown a profit. So I kind of always liked, and here's the other one, Kevin, before we go to break. It would put accountants out of business. However many there are in the United States, a couple 100,000, I guess, or whatever. They'd be out of business.
Yeah.
You get your paycheck.
The IRS would be out of business too.
Well, you get $1,000 and you pay them $200.
No, the IRS, they wouldn't put them out of business because they got to come after you.
You make $1 million.
Right.
And you wouldn't have, you couldn't take the taxes off on your home as a write-off. Everybody would pay like 20%. What the government says they can't figure out is would that be enough to run the government? Oh my God. If you did it with, the corporations, if you did it with, and it would give Congress almost nothing to do. They would have nothing to do because that's Congress's biggest business is taxes and taxing Americans and tax codes.
Maybe they could start working for the people. Trying to get...
How about we never try anything for 5 years? They pass a flat tax, and they say we're going to do it for 5 years. Mm-hmm. They're scared to death of that. And then if we think it's working, we'll vote on it again in 5 years. So There you go. All right, we'll have the author of the book Perv.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
Who talks about zoophiles, people that want to do things to animals. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about Mr. Swiss Cheese Masturbator. And he'll also say that he argues that pedophilia is a sexual orientation. And telling people that they need to be attracted to grown-ups and not kids is like telling a lesbian that she just hasn't found the right guy. Okay? He's coming up. Stay where you are.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons. The Jay Thomas Show.
Are you kidding?
We were the hot new thing.
Jay Thomas.
Afternoons. Indy Sirius XM 104.
Well, we've been talking about the book Perv, and we somehow screwed the phone number up or something. We can't get the guy on the phone.
That's not what happened.
What happened?
Gives you lies. No.
You know what? You're not in trouble.
I'm not. I know I'm not in trouble. It's just going to voicemail, and I've confirmed with him. So I'm working on it. It's not a bust just yet.
Remember when you could call the operator and break into the line if it was busy?
Yes.
If
favorite.
I wrote a book called Perv, this is the first show I'd want to be on. All right. Yeah. If not, we'll have him on again. That's too bad. He'll be on. I'm sure not everybody is booked. They want to book him at Fox. Never have him over there at Fox. Let's go to James of Arizona. Yes, James. Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Great.
Hey, I just want to call and first-time caller, and I think your show is freaking entertaining, and I just want to let you know.
Well, thank you very much. Write a letter to the management of this place. And tell them they ought to tune in every now and again.
Yeah, all right. That's all.
Okay. Someone did say, you ever get in trouble? No, they don't. They never listen. They don't give a shit. They don't get in trouble with anybody. This morning.
One guy did get in trouble, a sports guy.
What did he say?
What happened? Oh, I'll never say anything again.
I believe, he was told to stop and he didn't. I think he was
told to stop to do what?
Saying stuff about the company or how they were handling something.
Kidding.
And the boss came to him and said, listen, cut it out. And then apparently, the next day, he just went on and did the same thing. And see you later.
What a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they tell you to stop, you have to
stop.
Change your tune.
So today I have this big conference call for these live commercials that we do. And Mad Dog is in on it and a bunch of other hosts are in on it. We're all listening and stuff. And I won't say the name of the company, but the guy says, I just want you all to know that when we started having you guys advertise a few years ago, we were doing $5 million a year. We're now doing $150 million. And it got really quiet on the conference call.
Everyone's like,
and yeah. So we don't get paid for reading these live spots, right? So it's really quiet, right? And so the guy keeps saying how much money they're making and all this stuff. I know.
Was it a joke or?
No. He was bragging. He was bragging.
No jokes.
Wow.
Yeah, he was bragging.
Because he thought you guys would all be happy. Like, oh, wow, our company's helping your company.
He says, does anybody have anything to say?
Where's my fucking money?
I said,
oh, no.
Yeah, how about how about a cash bonus for us?
How'd that go?
And all the other hosts went, oh, yeah, I can hear them all. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
To me, it was kind of a dumb thing to say. It really was dumb to say. It's like reading in the paper, which I've done before, that your boss just got some multi-million-dollar raise. Mm-hmm. And then the boss gives a speech to you about how you've helped him and how this is wonderful and he's there for the next 10 years and yet there's no bonus attached to it.
Yeah, or how we need to cut corners after he got a big raise or something. Yeah.
Right. It's in the paper, right? And yeah, that's always weird to me.
And what did he say after you said that?
They laughed. They made it. He said, beside a cash bonus. Something like that. He just made a joke.
We'll send you some government cheese.
Well, the salespeople get 2 to 3 bonuses a year here. So they're getting the bonuses. I know people on the 19th floor that every 6 months.
How do you get into sales here?
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be good.
I got to get into sales.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I'd be great in sales.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird. It was a lot of money, you know. 150. Now he probably means across the country they use other, you know, disc jockeys or Radio National Live. But he was so excited, and we're all sitting here going, "Well,
where's my money?
We're not getting anything, you know."
Yeah, you're not even stuttering over the.
No.
You're doing great, you know.
No,
selling it, put my name
so
on the
so
box.
that's the thing. I have never ever understood athletes or people that the entertainers who put their salary in the they want their publicist to announce, like this pitcher from the Dodgers that made a deal, this guy Kershaw, for $215 million. And I don't know how many years it's for, but it's really just and he's won the Cy Young Award twice and everything else. But what's crazy is and, you know, Charlie Steiner, one of my closest friends, talks to me all the time. We talked this morning. He's the Dodgers announcer. Who the fuck goes to baseball games? Who watches baseball? I don't know a single solitary soul, Garrett. I really don't.
I watch baseball.
Do you have any you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mostly listen to baseball.
Yeah, you watch it like while you're doing something else.
Yeah,
right?
but I don't watch baseball. I listen to most of the games on AM radio.
It's background noise, kind of?
It's I'm interested in the Yankees, so I kind of follow them all year. Now, if there's a big play, I'll go back and I'll, oh my God, what did just happen? But it's basically after the All-Star break, I start getting into it, a little bit more, so I follow for the rest of the season.
I just don't know any baseball fans. I mean, I know a couple of guys maybe that
bunch of old homos.
Yeah, but enough to where one guy can get $215 million. Yeah. I would think that football is so much more popular in a short amount of time, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, baseball's international. Well, they're both international. I think baseball is more international, maybe more down in South America.
The Dodgers are going to Australia to play 2 games with the Diamondbacks.
Oh, going down under, eh?
Yeah, going down under. Going to Australia.
It'll be winter in Australia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
No, not yet. No, not in March.
Oh, because of the spring training, yeah, so it'll be fall.
No, you know what? Excuse me. He said March, but he said the games would count. He must have meant April.
Yes.
Oh, the games are... Oh, because they used to go to Japan. They used to open the season with the game in Japan, so now they're doing...
Yeah, he said the games count. He must mean he's going down last week of March, and it'll open up the April 1st game.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Tommy of the south side of Chicago. Now, is that the rough side of Chicago? Are you a tough guy when you're from the south side?
No, man, I'm from Brownsville. We're kind of like the more upper, south side. You know what I'm saying?
Upper, like where is Barack Obama from?
Well, I mean, Barack's over by the college, over there by the university. That's where Barack's from. He's all the big fancy houses and stuff over there in Hyde Park.
He was always treated specially, wasn't he? At Barack Obama.
Well, I mean, he's half white. That's how it is. I mean, that's
really.
How it is
He, many people say he was born with a golden pineapple up his ass. Many people say.
I never heard that.
From Hawaii, yes, he's born with a golden pineapple.
I don't
right up his ass.
President that way.
Do you think Barack Obama? Do you think that of those of us, black and white? I mean, I find him very interesting. I like him. Do you think he played the game, and that we're a little naive, that he's not as big a game player as many of us want to believe?
I think he's the biggest game player there is. I think Michelle Robinson, that's her real name. I mean, we all know here that Michelle hates white people, and we were all just blown away that she got elected, or she got elected with him, because everyone in Brownsville knows Michelle Robinson. And
she hates white people. Everybody knows she hates white people.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. I'm gonna tell you.
I can't believe that. She seems like
this is his opinion. Here's the deal. You are this tall, really beautiful woman. You are Harvard, whatever she is. She's a lawyer, whatever it is. And because of her skin color, she is, not allowed to have the same rights and privileges in her own mind or wherever, or in real life, that other women have. And absolutely, I think that if I was a black man and I was not able to get the acting parts or the radio announcer jobs or whatever, and I would always go, it's because I'm black, and I would be madder than fucking hell. I really would.
Just knowing Michelle Obama's personality, these past 5 years. And then when she first came in on the scene, and remember that report where she was, somebody called her an uppity black woman? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, seriously, I mean, she is the nicest woman and kindest and one of the biggest personalities, I think, I've ever seen.
It doesn't mean that she doesn't feel the...
I just don't think that...
a bunch of wolf tickets, man. She all sold you a bunch of wolf tickets. I mean, Michelle, you all gotta be joking, right?
No, I'm not joking.
I mean, that thing, white people will believe anything that we tell you all. You
okay.
know? I mean,
I don't even believe that you're black.
Tickets. She sold you all a bunch of wolf tickets, and you all taking it. But I want to talk about Matthew Shepard.
Wait a minute. She sold us a bunch of wolf or woof tickets.
Wolf
tickets, man. Wolf tickets.
Yeah, wolf tickets.
No,
I'm going to start using that, Garrett. Garrett, don't you ever sell me any wolf tickets, Garrett. I'll fucking beat you down. I'll beat you down.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
And by the way, Tommy,
she didn't sell me any wolf tickets. All right.
Kevin doesn't believe you're black.
No, I don't even believe he's black.
What? Like you got like a black test there, Kevin?
That's right. Yeah, get that machine out.
Tommy's not a black name.
No.
Oh man, no. Yeah. Well, whatever.
I just watched The Butler the other night. There wasn't one Tommy in the movie. Not one person. Not one black person.
Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy,
yeah. So Tommy, you're calling about Matthew Shepard.
Garrett has the thing to tell whether or not you're black or not. Okay, say something.
If you're going to talk about Matthew Shepard, shouldn't you be talking about Jesse Durkhausen too? I mean, Jesse Durkhausen was killed, by two sodomites. At the same time Matthew Shepard was killed on drugs on bad.
Tommy, I have to tell you, I could not agree with you more, Tommy. Thank you very much, Tommy.
White people. See, that's white people always making fun of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Tommy. Now, I have no idea what he said.
No.
None. You were playing all kind of shit.
Sorry.
I think Michelle Obama cannot wait to get out of the White House. Cannot wait.
I totally disagree with you.
Oh. No. It's an imposition. It's no fun. She wants to raise her daughters. I
think she's having the time of her life. She's enjoying it. She's embracing it, and she's helping people. I mean, my God, what a wonderful, beautiful lady she is.
Is there a divorce story coming out about that she wants a divorce? Or
no. Do you want to hear?
My friend asked me, like, are they getting a divorce?
All right, hold on. I want to tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now. You guys have known me, and you know my marriage, okay? Mm-hmm. I've been married, 25 years. Okay, now listen to this. My wife and I do nothing together. She has friends. She's leaving town for a week. She's going off with a girlfriend someplace. She doesn't ask me if I want to go. My wife doesn't say goodnight. I mean, if you were around my wife and I, or if you saw the way we lived and how often I'm gone and where's Jay and all that, I'm sure people would be shocked. This is what caused this divorce story. This is so stupid. Okay. They go to Hawaii on a 2-week vacation. Yes. Right. Okay. He flew back with his daughters. His wife stayed an extra week by herself.
Oh, my God.
Oh, they're getting divorced.
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous?
That's what happened right before my parents got divorced. My mom stayed in Hawaii.
Did it really?
Yeah.
So,
Probably
Johnny of San Antonio. Yes, Johnny, San Antonio. Go ahead, Johnny. Yes.
Hey, Obama, I would love to be away from my wife for a week, first of all. Hey, Jay, have you ever been to San Antonio, and what do you think of it?
Oh, yeah, I've been to San Antonio. Unfortunately, I thought I was in Austin, but I had a very nice time. I did. I was booked to go to Austin, but I flew to San Antonio. I got out of the plane and went downtown, forgetting to get in the car and drive to Austin. I just got, it was stupid, but yeah. I'm from Texas. I was born in Kermit, way west.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
I'm my own man. I'll run this mother the way I want to.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoons. The Jay Thomas Show.
On Indy, Sirius XM 104.
During the big break across the top of the hour, we check our emails and phones and stuff like that. And so, Kevin Meaney, you got a phone call from a person, a robotic phone call from someone at a cruise line just a few moments ago.
It was, you check your messages, and I go, I got this phone call from...
We were listening to a very strange discussion, and you were cursing at this...
I was cursing at the robotic call that I had gotten. I had gotten this call, and they said, and I called the number back, and it was a 914 number, and I figured maybe it was my mom or a hospital or something, and it was from Caribbean Cruise Lines going, we want you to take a vacation. And it was like this woman, this nice voice, and I go, how did she get my number? And so I said, you're a piece of shit. And she goes, thank you. And then I was like, this isn't real. And I started using other language then. And then I said, you're a cunt, aren't you? And she goes, yes. And then I go, you're a really stinky cunt. And she goes, yes. And she kept trying to sell me the Caribbean Cruise Lines, even though I would just kept saying cunt, cunt, cunt.
I have a YouTube clip of this. Some guy got a call from one of these people.
I'm good. By the way...
Well, I'm calling about an online request you once made about health insurance coverage.
Okay.
I work with all major companies and compare...
Hey, are you a robot?
What? No, I am a real person. Maybe we have a bad connection. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's crazy. I see you just sound so much like a robot.
I am a real person. Maybe we have a bad connection. I'm sorry about that.
Will you tell me you're not a robot? Just say I'm not a robot, please.
I am a real person.
I mean, I believe you, but will you just say I'm not a robot? It'll make me feel better to hear you say it.
Wow.
There is a live person here.
Oh, my
God. But I know there
so
is. It would just make me feel so much better to hear you say I am not a robot.
What?
If you could say the words, I'm not a robot, it would really mean a lot to me.
I am a real person. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I just want to hear you say, I am not a robot.
Yes, I'm a real person.
Right, but will you say I'm not a robot?
Wow.
Healthy Enrollment Center?
Yeah. It goes on probably for hours.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Oh my God, it
currently on
sounds so
Medicare?
real.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But now let me ask you a question.
Medicaid or looking for Medicaid?
We'll go, you ask me a question, then I'll ask you a question. How about that?
Sure.
Okay, are you a robot?
No.
Will you say I'm not a robot?
Wow, that's creepy.
It's great.
The creepy laughs that they put in there.
And I like it that
sounds so natural.
I went right for the cunt. I didn't even stop. I go, are you
But
a
that
cunt?
they program
Yes.
the woman to laugh and wow, they're so fucking smart.
And all they're trying to do is sell you shit. That's the whole thing. They're just trying to sell you shit.
I noticed now I tried to call my cable provider the other day and I was trying to hit 0 a million times.
Yeah,
so that,
I do.
And
it doesn't work.
They blocked you from that.
Yeah, they don't want you to do that. I always press 0.
And now I find myself screaming, representative!
Yeah. Well,
like a lunatic.
Yeah, that's me.
No,
I'm completely insane. I want a real person.
It doesn't happen much anymore, but when you get sent over, like United Airlines, to India, they are robotic, but they're alive. They're real, and they are robotic, and they can understand every word that you say, and they can speak English, but it's a very robotic English. And if you ask them if they're in Mumbai, they say no. They say they're not in Mumbai or wherever they are, Delhi or whatever the deal is. But I go, why don't you, and the airlines and these companies, they don't think anything of this. The complaints mean nothing. The being made fun of means nothing. So on some level, they must be doing well with the robotic phone calls and
they don't have to pay the robotic phone calls. It's all automated. They just have to pay the guy who came up with it. That's it. No live person anymore. to get frustrated and leave the phone banks because some lunatic just called somebody a cunt, And that's exactly, I get on that phone, I go nuts. There's something that turns me into a complete mental patient when I'm trying to get service, and I don't get it. Something, I'm trying to get off the grid, I don't even want a phone anymore. I don't need a phone. Nobody calls me.
Christina just sent me a picture of the Olympic Biathlon
Garrett wouldn't even call me
Center.
back yesterday.
The Olympic Biathlon Center in Sochi. Now, biathlon is where you ski, you stop, you shoot.
They have a biathlon for skiing? You ski, shoot?
That's it. That's all biathlon is.
Yeah.
It's cross country. Show Kevin this. It is side by side sit down toilets and it's in the men's room, where if you were peeing, you would be touching shoulders with the guy next to you.
Yeah, that's gay.
And God forbid you sit down to poo-poo.
Yeah.
You would be sitting right next to a person who might be peeing.
It's like prison.
In prison you have more privacy. You do.
Well, it depends, I guess.
Yeah, but that is the gayest toilets I've ever seen in my life. I mean, tell you, Jim McGreevey would love to be going to the bathroom there.
Okay. Oh my God.
Or who's that other guy, Larry? With the wide
Craig.
stance? Larry Craig with the wide stance. He wouldn't need a wide stance with that toilet.
Boy, there are some dumb answers out there when they catch these guys, aren't there?
I had a wide stance, okay? My foot touched him, okay?
So the guy called a little while ago about the raccoon being shot.
Yes.
The deer thing is really out of control. There are no predators for the deers, and my son, the outdoorsman, is always saying, that animal control.
There are predators for deer, Jay. And they're called,
No, there aren't.
They're called ticks, deer ticks.
No, the ticks,
automobiles.
the ticks don't kill them. But the coyotes aren't killing them or whatever, and so now they're everywhere. In Cayuga Heights, New York, you know that area, Kevin?
Say that again? That's Cayuga.
Cayuga Heights.
Cayuga Heights. Yes.
They don't want...
Cayuga is it's an Indian word. It's one of the names of the Finger Lakes, and there's 5 Finger Lakes, and Cayuga is one of them.
Mm-hmm. It's the middle finger, I believe.
Yes, it's the Middle Finger Lake.
Yeah. They don't want to shoot the deers.
No.
So they are tranquilizing female deers and removing their ovaries. This is a true story. They have spent, in this small town, Cayuga, $36,000 to sterilize 12 does.
That's not
last
bad.
Month. Oh, God. A bullet cost 50 cents.
Hold on, just 12 they did it to, and it cost
That's it.
$3,000 per deer?
Yes.
Yes. You try removing ovaries from a
They're
big
just spaying
deer.
it, right?
A year ago, no, the ovaries, I don't know. It's different than spaying. I have no idea.
You got to freeze them, put
the
them on
ovaries,
a tuna can.
a year ago, they spent $150,000 on 140 female deer.
Well, look what they've done with all the stray cats. They've been neutering them for years, and we still have millions of stray cats.
They have over 100 deer per mile in that area, and I lived I lived in Connecticut, and the deer were everywhere, and they would allow you. I think in Connecticut you could shoot one in your backyard a year.
It's so bad. When I first moved back east and we had the house up in Tarrytown, I'd wake up early in the morning and there'd be dew out on the lawn. And a deer would be jumping over, I thought, oh, that is so beautiful. The second year I was there, I hated them. I hated the deer. I wanted to kill them.
Oh,
they were like big rats to me. At first I loved them. They were so beautiful. Then they became big rats in my mind. I hated them.
You need to
when we
reread
lived in Pennsylvania, they
the
used to
yearling.
walk up to my father and kind of push them with their nose. They get so comfortable with you, he would feed them out of his hand.
No.
Yeah, I would never do that. I would never do
happened.
that to
You're
anyone.
lucky your dad didn't get a tick.
Tick. That's what I said. I would say that from the inside of the house where it was safe.
I see these
Well,
idiots
guess
in
what?
Washington
If
Square
your
Park.
dad got a tick, that tick could
He
jump
wouldn't
off
have been
of your
allowed
dad.
inside the house.
Not
I did that
contagious.
charity. I
The
did
whole
a
house is
time. I was in Connecticut. They asked me if I would do a time for Lyme. And I went. It's a big charity in Connecticut.
They serve
And
margaritas there?
Oh, I made all those jokes there.
Of course you did.
I got up there and I said, good evening, I'm Jay Thomas. I'll be your host for the evening. And I said, when I first was booked for this event, I really did think it was, something being thrown by Boodle's Gin. I thought we were going to be making,
Any laughs in the room at that?
No. I thought we were going to be making some lime Rickies. And so they weren't really laughing.
No, because they were all
sick. Well, wait a minute. They commenced to run a documentary of some sort. One after another. Yeah. Hospitalized, unable to work, dying, children, old ladies. And I sit through 30 minutes of this, and then the testimonials begin. The testimonials. My wife was working in the backyard and had a large red rash on her back, and we
didn't know what it was at first.
So to make matters worse, I
kept getting sicker and sicker. He had no energy.
I get up to close the show after introducing the doctors, the lawyers, everybody, and I say, listen, I want to say first of all, I said some things early in the show, and I said, certainly my mind has been changed by seeing this incredible documentary.
You should have said you've been bit by a tick during the show.
No, I didn't. I said worse. I said, in fact, we've heard every warning we can hear. When I get home, I'm going to make sure my wife examines every inch of my body. And I got a smattering of laughter. Yeah. I did a golf tournament. I did a golf tournament in New Jersey, and they had a Broadway star or something come, and he sang these horrible kind of operatic, Jeanette MacDonald. Who would she sing with? Jeanette MacDonald and Gordon McRae. These awful songs.
Sure.
And I followed him up.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes.
I said, anybody want to join me in Encore? Everybody hated this guy. Anybody want to join me in Encore? Well, somebody came up to me and said, that was the rudest. He's driven in from New York City and all this stuff. And it went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm emceeing it. You've seen me MC. I'm working.
Oh, you're the best. You're the best MC.
I have a great time. Yeah. So, oh man.
Who was that? Ricardo Montalban? He was, I was out in L.A. a number of years ago, and he's like using a walker to get up to the podium, and I'm sitting at the front table, and it was for this Catholics in show business, something like that. And so I'm sitting next to this nun. And Mary Ann's on the other side of me, and I said, he's faking it. He can walk faster than that.
Your wife said that?
No, I said that to the nun. He's like, it takes him. Now Ricardo Montalban. And the applause starts, and now he's coming out with the walker, and the applause is stopped, and he's still walking. And it's taken him an hour to get to the microphone. And I'm just going, oh, please, you can walk faster than that, And he's trying as hard as he can.
No, wait, you didn't say this on the microphone.
No. I'm just saying it. I'm saying it to the nun next to me. I'm going, he can walk faster than that. Look at him. She's like looking at me like I'm the devil. I am the devil, you fucking cunt. Yeah.
When you and I met, my best line of the night was they have all these chefs, and they're fixing all this food in Taos, New Mexico, and they served elk. And so they were bragging about the chefs, and everybody was bragging about the food and everything else. So I got up there, and I said, I just want to add my 2 cents. I'll tell you what, this is the first night I've ever had elk that didn't have little bits of chrome in it.
Because of the buckshot?
No, because they're hit by a car. And no one got it. And so it fell on deaf ears, right? And I think a couple of the comics might have gotten it. My wife goes, what was that?
Yeah.
I said, elk get hit by cars. She goes, what? And she says to me, bumpers are made of plastic. I went, no, I know, but it's, chrome is the, roadkill is what I meant.
Detroit.
Trucks.
Yeah.
By the way, the Supreme Court has got a bunch of things coming up. One of them is, should there be a 35-foot buffer zone around abortion clinics? And,
what is a buffer zone?
I think,
no protest.
Where you can protest. And, of course, all the liberals are going to say yes, and then the five, other ones, Scalia and Anthony Kennedy and Clarence Thomas, they're going to, forget it. So one guy walked 35 feet away from the justices and said this distance would make it difficult for you. And Judge Breyer says, well, I can hear you. I can hear you. And it's so funny because the Supreme Court, they're not talking about laws. They're like us. People would come before us and we'd all have an opinion, and then that's going to be the law after it's over. You know what I mean?
Well, they argue. They argue what they believe is right, on both sides.
But they don't really argue a lot. They do have laws that they argue. But what I like about it is it comes down to their personal opinion of what, the law ought to be.
Well, it's their opinion it's their opinion, and it's also based on law, isn't it?
Well, it's their interpretation of the law.
Okay, yes, that's what I meant to say.
They're interpreting the law, It's like in Ohio, they're going before the Supreme Court to say that this heinous murderer should not have been gasping for air or whatever.
They used a new drug on him, a new lethal injection drug. And,
that's going to go in front of the Supreme Court.
He was a murderer, right? Didn't he murder? What did he do? This guy that was
he killed a pregnant woman and cut the baby out of her stomach. His name is Dennis McGuire.
And the daughter of this man.
No, wait a minute. No. Amber McGuire, her brother, who's Dennis McGuire Jr., flank his wife, Missy McGuire. And they're filing a federal lawsuit over the execution.
Because they watched him being put to death, right?
And he gasped for air.
It took him 10 minutes to die.
15 minutes, and his legs were kicking, and he was groaning and all this shit, and it's like, okay, fine, so what?
It didn't work.
I hope they go, because I want to hear Antonin Scalia say, well, you know what? I'm sure there was a lot of that same noise made by the woman that your husband killed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now,
in that way, they're crying. No, they're weeping. You got to see the news conference.
Well, that's why they're thinking about bringing back the firing squad.
The Assistant Attorney General of Ohio says you are not entitled to a pain-free execution. He started making all these.
They're bringing back the firing squad. Didn't you hear this? Just
and hanging, electric chair, all of it.
The electric chair is always my favorite form of.
Well, their hair catches on fire.
That is because my parents knew this guy that used to go up and see people put to death in the electric chair up in Sing Sing, and then he would come back and tell them stories. I just saw this guy executed up there, because they would execute people like once a week, in New York at that time.
Wow. Amber McGuire was witnessing the execution of her father. He started making horrible.
Do you think that we could
noises.
get her on the show, Amber McGuire? I mean, she'd be a great guest.
You know what, Christina? Try and get one of the McGuire sisters, would you?
The weird part is too, they bring him in and everyone can see him. Then they close the curtains so they can put the IVs in their arms because they don't want people watching him get IVs in his. And then
Christina, but you must tell her. Christina, you must tell her that we agree with her. Okay.
Okay.
And then when she gets here, we're gonna just say things.
Terrible.
That was
no,
awful.
it's not that terrible. I say that often enough.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I like
you're
it.
Good. You're good, Christina. Yeah.
Jay loves pit bulls. He loves them. His favorite animal.
Ohio. I believe the ovaries of deer should be taken out. Jay has 2 ovaries on his desk. He's got a box of ovaries at his house. Ohio, which had run out of its supply of pentobarbital used a combination of midazolam, an anti-anxiety drug, in the same family with Valium, and hydromorphone, a powerful narcotic derived from morphine.
What about trans fats?
And what he got was, they say he was completely asleep, and he had air hunger.
Oh, yeah. That's like,
air hunger.
That's like sleep apnea.
Amber McGuire, through her tears, said, "Those horrible, horrible noises will be with me forever." And at one point, I covered my eyes and my ears as my father began to writhe on the gurney.
Oh, God.
But she didn't have to go to that, right?
No, you don't have to go.
Yeah, so what do you expect going to happen when
They have
kill
people,
your dad?
anybody can go to that. They're free. You can go, you can sign up and go. If you want to go, you can go.
How many seats do you have, you think?
Well, yeah, it's a lottery, you know. It's not guaranteed
like
that you're
Super
going to
Bowl.
get in, you know.
Yeah. Huh.
But you're going to get in if you're there early enough to watch.
Hiro Arnoda died at 91 over the weekend. It is a full-page story in the obituaries of the Los Angeles Times and of the New York Times.
Was he Japanese, Hiro? I know
he was Japanese. Let's go around the horn. Mr. Arnoda died at 91. I'm going to have to give you some clues.
Okay. This is getting nervous.
Never say never. Lieutenant Onoda. Never say never. What do you think made him famous?
Okay.
And it comes from World War II. What do you think made him famous? Never say never. And my other clue is the Iranian hostages. The Iranian hostages. Those are my two clues. Okay. Okay. Never say never.
Never say never.
And the Iranian hostages.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's first?
You are, Garrett.
All right, I think I got this one.
Okay.
What is it?
I think he was one of those guys that was like in Okinawa and went in the cave and then was told never come out, you know, don't trust anyone, and lived in the cave.
Didn't come out till many years later.
Yeah, and couldn't believe that the war wasn't going on.
Didn't believe anything, even though it was
somebody like that on Gilligan's Island. They found him.
Yeah, there was.
There was, you know.
Oh, no, war's still going on. Yeah.
Christina, what do you think Mr. Arnoda's claim to fame is?
Claim to fame, and you said never say never. All I can think about is Justin Bieber, because that's his hit song.
Oh, my
Sorry.
God.
I know,
He's
terrible.
a huge fan at 91. He's a Japanese
He's a believer.
man. He's the oldest believer in the
didn't
world.
give me my chance to go.
That's very good. No, well, here it's to you now.
Okay,
it's to you now. Here you go.
I thought that was right.
Wait your turn.
I thought that was right. I thought she got it right. I was like, oh my God. No, don't do that. That music is bad. Oh God. Okay. All right.
What a stupid show. What a dumb show.
This is what I believe.
Yeah.
I don't have a word.
No, this is it.
What is it?
Hero wrote the James Bond movie Never Say Never, and he's also a Jimmy Carter impressionist.
Hiroo Onoda gave up in 1979.
He's not a Jimmy Carter impressionist.
He had hidden in the jungle of the Philippines for like 35 years. And would not believe World War II was over. He and about 4 other guys hid, and leaflets were dropped, and they did all sorts of stuff. No, the other guys were eventually either died or were captured. This guy, in those years, he killed 30 Filipinos who stumbled upon his hideout. Killed 30 people. He survived on bananas and coconuts.
See?
And would kill villagers. And, yeah.
And he never got put in jail for any of this?
No, they forgave him.
How could they forgive him?
They
killing people.
President Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines
Marcos,
pardoned him.
Sure.
Okay?
He remained loyal to the cause. Mm-hmm. He walked out of the jungle wearing his uniform. He still had his uniform.
Proud.
And he had his sword and everything else. They flew his brother in when they realized who they thought it was. And his brother had trouble talking him out of the
cave.
Out of the cave. Yeah. He ate rats. He would kill a cow every now and again. Didn't come out till 1979. And now he comes out, 1979.
Loves all
He goes home. He's a hero. He's a national hero. He arrives in Tokyo. His parents, the crowd goes absolutely crazy.
He lived in Japan for the rest of his life?
Yes, he lived in Japan. He couldn't believe cars and, skyscrapers. And he knew nothing about the bomb. He didn't know anything about the bombing.
He didn't know anything about that?
No. And he, all of a sudden, after this big welcome, he got his pension, his back pension. For all those years, they gave him his pension. He signed a $200,000 contract for his memoirs called No Surrender, My 35-Year War. And he went dancing. He took driving lessons. He would drive all around the islands.
Was he twerking at all?
No, he just couldn't believe automobiles and television. He moved to a Japanese colony in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where he raised cattle because he was more comfortable in the jungle area.
Yeah.
And he married a Japanese tea ceremony teacher. They came back to Japan, and he started a nature school where he taught survival skills to the youth of Japan.
You know what his favorite song was?
What?
Jungle Boogie. Jungle Boogie. Jungle.
And by the way, someone sent me this notice. Mae Young, 90 years old,
Mae Young
was one of the female wrestlers that I watched as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But her arch enemy was the fabulous Moolah.
Yep.
And that's who I would masturbate to.
Oh my God.
Yes. They would come out
TMI.
and they would throw each other all over the place.
And that turned you on?
And I was a little kid. I was like, 12 years old. I'd be laying on the couch, and these women would be there.
Oh, my
butts
God.
would be in each other's faces.
That's a big
and
gal.
I believe Mae Young, that's her name, right? She participated in WWE within the last 10 years. She did stuff for that. Like, she's still out there bumping chest, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
90 years old. She's dead now.
She can do it.
She's dead.
She'll do a throwdown.
Dead. Let's go to Jesse of Ohio. Hey, Jesse, it's Jay Thomas. How are you?
Oh, dear.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
We're sorry for your loss, by the way.
What's that?
We're sorry for your loss.
What is that mean?
Well, the poor man that was killed out there in Ohio.
Yeah, well, not all of us are crying now.
Okay.
But anyhow,
wait a minute, stop.
Executed.
Yeah.
He was executed.
Oh, Mr. McGuire.
Mr. McGuire.
Mr. McGuire.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, in New Jersey, they're putting condoms on the deer over there, so it's working out pretty good. It's a little bit cheaper too. So.
They're not doing that.
I could do that.
All right, Jesse of Ohio, thank you.
So yeah,
let's go
Mae
to Kim. Was in Alabama.
Appeared September 24, 2012 in the WWE. March 4th, 2013.
At 89 years old, 89.
Yeah. March 4th, 2013 was for her 90th birthday. Now she doesn't.
If I had known that, I would have jerked off to her for old time's sake.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Nostalgia.
Would have the old broad jumping around. Did she go off the top buckle there, Garrett? Whatever that's called.
I believe so. Yeah.
Turnbuckle. Kim at Alabama. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Tim in Alabama, but that's fine.
Tim. That's okay, Tim. Go ahead.
Timmy.
Yeah. Anytime y'all come down in Biloxi, we'll roll some dice together. You mentioned earlier about the joke where you said that the elk had chrome in it the first time.
Yeah.
To fix that joke, the punchline should have been, and any idiot would be able to get it, would be to say, this is the first time I ever ate elk that had a piece of a trunk in it.
No.
No,
you're right. You're right. You've got, look, what? First of all, this was farm-raised elk, so watch. This is the first time I've ever had elk that didn't have a piece of a truck in it. That would have been a great joke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
didn't
God
have.
bless you. I love
Well,
you.
you know what, Tim? How many years ago was that? 15 that we met, you and I?
More than that.
Easily
20 years.
15 or 20 years, yeah. So, too bad.
Next time we're going to do it all in a writer's room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Throw it around.
That's it. Thank you, Tim. By the way, accused double murderer now, Aaron Hernandez, was not allowed to watch Sunday's AFC Championship game.
Oh, that's too bad.
From his prison cell.
What? Why not?
He's not allowed to watch any TV, and they've got him in solitary or something.
Oh.
I'm
sure he knows who won.
He could possibly hear about it if the guards may have been listening down the hall.
Yes,
but they didn't let him hear it.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He isn't allowed out at the same time as any other inmate.
Mm-mm.
He's not allowed any television.
He's a killer.
He is under special management, a classification that allows him only 3 hours outside of his cell. Holy shit. Now, he's just accused.
Oh, he's killed a lot of people, though. Didn't he kill people out in L.A.? And
I don't know.
Well, he's allegedly killed people out in L.A. and
I don't.
I don't know. The pro football, the other football player, I don't know. What are they called? He's a pro bowler.
Ray Lewis?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin says he welcomes gays to the Olympic Games in Sochi, but he says, leave our children alone. Jeez. That's what he says.
Well, it's not like we're sending a bunch of Catholic priests over there,
Yeah, well,
we're sending Olympians over there.
They defrocked 400 of them. I thought that was a big number.
Said the guy that loves walking around with his shirt off at any chance he could get.
Yeah.
Putin.
Yeah.
Something going on with him.
He says, firstly, we have no ban on non-traditional forms of sexual interaction between people. Okay?
What does that mean?
We have a ban on propaganda about homosexuality and pedophilia among minors, which I'd like to stress, if you are homosexual, leave our children alone. That's what
They're
he
just
says.
grouping homosexuals in with pedophiles.
We have nothing like this here. This is why you can feel free and unrestrained. But please, leave our children alone. Can you imagine driving in and there's a big billboard showing kind of a, effeminate-looking man and a child, and it says, leave our children alone.
Yeah.
Nice, right?
Like one of the ice skaters,
Yeah. Leave our children alone.
With Johnny Weir.
And Brian Boitano just tweeted, okay.
Well, do you think Obama did that as a slap in the face to send Brian
course,
Boitano?
But he wasn't even out, Brian Boitano.
Who was the female tennis?
Martina,
no, Billie Jean King.
Billie Jean?
They're our
Right.
representatives.
Oh, of course. Oh, are you kidding? Of
did,
course.
yeah.
In your face.
Yeah.
In your big muff head face. Speaking of prisons, the food is so bad they only spend $1.50 a day on food. Inmates now are saying that they are Jewish and want a kosher meal. And those
a
meals
lot of these prisons now are privatized, and they're not run by the state, and they're a money-making operation, and
they are.
And the shareholders are saying, how come we're not making more money? You promised us, so they have to make cutbacks. So they cut back on the food, they cut back on the services that these prisoners should be able to get because they're just humans,
About 10 years ago, I made a big stock buy of owned prisons, private. I thought it was going to be huge.
Yeah.
The stock went to almost bankruptcy. It was the worst stock I ever bought, and I don't know if they're making money, but now, if you say you're Jewish, prison officials, say that the prisoners cannot be questioned, and they want to bring in rabbis to quiz the prisoners about the Torah and the rules of keeping kosher. And so now there's going to be a big
Even when you call on the airline now, you say you request a Jewish meal, a rabbi will call me and question me.
No.
Oh, they do all the time, yeah. Hello, Mr. Meany. We just want to talk to you about your food choices.
Does not equal sincerity. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Rabbi Menachem Katz, director of prison and military outreach, says there should be a way to ascertain who really does require a kosher meal for their religious beliefs. Now, here's what's funny. In New York State, 1,500 black inmates demand Jewish meals.
I'll just have one name that I'm going to throw out, okay? Sammy Davis
just
Jr.
because they are of African-American descent doesn't mean they're not.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Jewish. There you go.
Jewish.
There you go.
Okay.
And the meals look
one
fabulous,
eye.
by the way.
Also one eye.
The meals are under plastic, and I'm trying to see what it is. It looks very good. Looks like coleslaw, a nice roll. What I do think is funny is a congressman, and I want to say, Senator Greg Evers, the Republican chairman of the Senate Criminal Justice Committee, said, "Is bread and water considered kosher?" Just a thought. I love when they do that. Yeah. I really do. Because that's a very Fox thing. We're all watching TV. We know these guys, black and white. There's only 6,500 in California. 6,500 prisoners say that they are Jewish and need kosher meals, right? And yet 12 people go to temple or whatever it is. And so you're all watching TV. And at CNN, they're making no comment. At MSNBC, they're making no comment. And then over on Fox, the Republican guy says, is bread and water considered kosher? And that's what people like about Fox.
It depends if it's
that's leavened
or not. If it's unleavened bread, then...
No, but because
yes,
the majority of people agree, fuck the prisoners. So what, you gasp for fucking air, you murderous animal? Now... I'm not allowed to be called liberal when I say these things. You're laughing. It's true. If you deserve liberalism, you should get it. If you really are in need, you should get it. There should be libraries.
You're not going to deny somebody just their basic rights just because they're in prison. I mean, you're still going to be humane about treating someone with. And I'm not saying with respect, but You're
he
still
wants to bring all the homeless people to one place and then I think blow it up or something.
No, I have a new thing.
You're right. I'm sorry, Christina.
Who do you think you're
Hold on
talking
a minute.
to here?
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have
What am I
we have billions of acres of open space.
Yes.
Why they have to congregate in the nice neighborhoods near the beach?
Near your house.
I don't know. They need to be carted up and moved to the friggin' desert. And give them a tent city. Give them bottled water, whatever it is, and let them go to Pahrump, Nevada. Let them live in the desert. They don't need to be here. We pay taxes. We have a view. They shouldn't be here.
Well, they're good ideas, yeah.
We pay taxes. We have a view. You are such a rich asshole.
No, they shouldn't be here.
It makes sense, though. You're paying for the area.
I want you to walk out of your apartment, Christina,
Yeah.
and I want you to you're stepping over homeless guys. Get the fuck out of here.
Not that far off. I mean, I have
Not
to
that
walk,
far off either.
I have to walk 4 blocks at least to step over a homeless person.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's like in the village.
Yeah. But we're all neighbors.
That's what I like about staying at the Crown Plaza. They shoo them off. Shoo them away. I asked the doorman, there's a homeless person there. I don't want to walk out and have him in my view. And he goes, I'll give him $5 and he shoos the guy away. So I can walk out in the street.
Hold on, Mr. Thomas.
Without viewing somebody with gangrened ankles. Yeah. Mark of Wilmington. Go ahead, Mark.
Jay, your show is fantastic, by the way. You guys are great. I appreciate your tongue-in-cheek a little bit.
Tell someone that matters.
Listen, I'm shallow, so I like to prep people first. You got to fluff them up.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
You're a fluffer.
I just wanted to make a statement. I wanted to see your tongue-in-cheek view, all of yours, of course. You said it so commandingly that who would want to live in Russia and look, guys, we live here free. So I was asking, you obviously meant that as a joke, right? Because what is there, only 14 states or something that allow gay marriage? So, I mean, we have no freedom compared to some parts of the world. Don't you agree?
No.
Not at all. You don't agree?
No.
You don't, why would you? Of course. You're like an uncle that drinks. I get it.
You know what? I don't even know why people say that to me. They're always saying that to me. And when I was a little kid, 12 years old, my parents called me Gramps and Grumps and everything else. And I do everything I can to remain modern and hip. And
he told me to keep my files last week again.
You know what I do? I even watch MTV to find out what the hep cats are listening to. You know what I'm saying?
You're never going to find out what anybody's listening to on
I
MTV.
listen to Shade 45 just to hear the new African American curse words.
Hey, Jay,
word up, Jay.
Huh?
Word up.
LOB. Hey, LOB, bitch. LOB, bitch. LOB, bitch.
Jay, can I ask you a question?
League of Boom, bitch. Legion of Boom, bitch.
Let me ask you a question.
You get in my face. You're mediocre. You get in my face. Forget it.
My children are young. And my children are young. They're going to grow up.
I'm middle-aged MC. I'm looking for a little PP. Yeah. I just took myself a big blue V. That means my dick is ready for thee. Yeah. I'm in middle-aged MC. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Get down and lick my white belt, bitch. There you go. Yeah. I'm wearing my Carnivans. Yeah.
I can't.
All right. What's that now, Mark? You just keep fucking babbling on. What do you want now? What are you talking about? What's wrong?
Gold comedy he's giving you.
Sure.
I just wanted to know what side. Do you think my children who are young, when they grow up to be 15 or 20, don't you think that they're going to be on the right side of history when we finally allow gay marriage throughout the United States? It doesn't feel free.
Your children, when they're 15 or 16, will find you the most boring son of a bitch because we've learned that now on this radio show.
Nobody on this show cares at all about
your kids 15 or 16, they won't think about anything until they're like 45 years old like everybody else. I didn't think shit when I was 15 or 16. I don't know why people think their kids are going to grow up and think
You try
something.
to teach your kids that. You try to talk to them, but they really don't. They don't care.
No.
They know they know too much anyway. I tried to tell my daughter this morning, I said, put on some gloves and a hat and a scarf. Oh. No, I'm not going to do that. And then you walk outside and you see the kids. None of them have hats on. None of them have scarves or mittens or nothing. And their jackets are all open and they don't care.
Well, now, I will tell you that a pediatrician said to me, we were complaining about one of my kids not eating or something. Mm-hmm. And the pediatrician said, we have no research that shows of a child who, on their own accord, starve themselves to death. Mm-hmm. Your child will eat when they're hungry.
My vet said that about the dog, too.
So ask them if they're hungry, and if they say no, believe them.
Right.
And you can play snacks out for them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But to get in a big battle over food. Now, and also...
Oh, I don't do that at all. She goes, that's enough. Yeah.
The mittens and the hat, that's another one. You know, if kid says, I want to go out without mittens and a hat, I believe the kind of, new age way to do it is you put the mittens and the hat and a jacket near where they're playing in case they say they're cold. But if they say they're not cold, then they're not.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do about it.
No, I see every kid out on the street. All the jackets are wide open. They don't have a hat on, no scarf, no gloves, nothing. And what am I? And and they're getting sick. They're all coughing and sick, fever.
Before I go to break, we'll talk to you. By the way, the phones are lit up here. I guess there's an overflow over at Mad Dog Show. Christine, have you watched Hollywood Hillbillies yet?
No, not yet. But I saw the.
So it's the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, it's basically that.
Where did they move from?
It's not even the TV show. It's the awful movie. Not even.
Where did they move from?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
Arkansas?
I mean, it is fake from day one. It is totally fake. It's just,
I think one day he was shooting at some
just really crazy. We'll also tell you in a couple of minutes, if you're in Colorado or Washington State, where they're allowing marijuana, what happens when you go to the airport, where marijuana is not allowed, and they find it in your bag or they find it on your person or whatever?
What a great question.
Well, it's truth, yeah. And so we'll tell you about that.
It's
Stay where you are.
legal here.
We'll be right back.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoon.
Jesus. What idiots.
Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Oh, my God. Elton John. Wow. Well, where was it? What year was this out?
76.
Let's see. It should be right. It sounds...
Yeah, I was in Charlotte.
1975.
I was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Coming at you.
Wow.
Jay Thomas, North Carolina.
I'd have the record guys. The record guys would come to town. They would take me to Staley's Steakhouse. I'd eat all these steaks. If you are in Colorado and you go to the airport, when you enter the airport, you're now under federal jurisdiction. You're no longer under the state of Washington or Colorado. So they were finding all this pot in these legal states. They now have put out green amnesty boxes.
Wow.
Where you put if you forget or they catch you.
Put your weed or your pipe.
Yeah, but it's gone. That's it. You put it in the, now,
or you put a fake box on top, get people to put it in there, and then you go in and take it and go home. Thank you.
There you go. Well, I had these nose hair clippers that they confiscated from me at the airport with like a little tiny, 1.5 inch, little blade on it. It was so weird. They made me put it in some box.
Yeah.
And the guy said that they did sometimes give that stuff away.
No, I think people would come in and they would buy all that stuff.
Something, yeah, they did something with it like that. Yeah. So, let's go to Kenny of Florida. Yes, Kenny, it's Jay Thomas, Kevin Meaney back in New York with, of course, the lovely Christina and the very odd Garrett. Yes, Kenny, go ahead.
Jay, I was in the truck Friday, and I just thought you might find this interesting because you say things about it once in a while. I had the radio on, and I started scanning stations. I got tired of listening to music, and I hit the Fox News station. So I decided to listen to it. I'm a Democrat, but I watch and listen to them.
It's fun to listen to Fox.
And
it is.
it was 5 o'clock. I think it was a simulcast of a TV show. Do they have it's called 5 at 5 or something like that?
Right.
Well,
they do the morning show too. They do the
Five.
simulcast.
Yeah.
They do the morning show also. They simulcast whatever that is with
Fox and Friends. They simulcast. They do it on
Ducey. Ducey, whatever the name is. Yes. So what did you hear, Kenny?
Well, they were getting ready to sign off, so they were talking about different things, and they started in about the First Lady and the birthday party.
Yes,
and
with Beyonce.
They started saying about she's such a great First Lady, and she deserves this party, and she does this for the children in the schools, and they're going. All of them are going on and on for a couple minutes, and I'm thinking they're going to hit her with something. I just know it's coming,
Of course.
But they didn't. They didn't. That was it. I mean, they were all sincere.
They didn't.
About it.
They didn't at the end say, "And too bad she's black."
No.
If only she was white, it would just be so much more fun.
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
It kind of made me feel good about them because,
that's what they do. They suck you in that way, you see?
Yeah, but Kenny, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Within the halls of Fox, if you work over there, it's a different story. There's some real homophobia over there. There's some put downs of African Americans and stuff.
That.
Oh yeah, internally.
That, but I don't. I mean, what really could they say bad about her? Whether you're a Republican.
No, you know what though? That's smart. That's very smart, and I think that's programmed into their thinking. The reality is that they did. It was all the bill was footed by donations, and they had it in the White House and all like that. But they can't think Beyonce and the First Lady and I mean, the Republicans have a 2% black following or something. You know what I mean? I mean, they have no interest in that minority, you know? And then there are some log cabin Republicans. I believe they're more gay conservatives than you would know, because they make money. They don't have
There's a lot of gay conservatives.
Oh, yeah. Sure, for taxes, of course.
So you don't.
So it made you feel good about Fox. Roger Ailes is a genius. They're geniuses over there.
Well,
you know?
I didn't necessarily say I was feeling good about Fox. I just thought that these people that were on that day about what they were talking about when they were saying that, they were pretty sincere. And you can't, I mean, it's all true. I do think.
It's like when a rattlesnake licks you, Kenny. When a rattlesnake licks you, they're just setting you up for a bite. Okay?
That's right.
And that tongue comes out, that tongue's coming out. And you're trying to kiss the rattlesnake. It's just trying to figure out how close you are and what length to strike.
Nice rattlesnake.
All right. Thank you, Kenny. How much time left? How much time, Garrett? 10 seconds. Hello, Jason of New Jersey. Hello, Jason.
Well,
Jason? Yeah. Goodbye.